O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Friday. Good morning, boys and girls. Yes, sir. We are ready to rock and roll live from beautiful Hialeah Park, our home away from home, baby. Yes. So we're out here, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley, mastering this program like he does every single day. The Dolphins with their final practice against the Bucs today. They will be off on Friday. And then on Saturday, we will see a lot of backups in that game. In fact, the coach says he is leaning to not playing Tua in game one of the preseason. And let me give you what the translation means to that. It means he is very satisfied with what Tua's done in the classroom, an understanding of the offense, and overall practices from day one till now. And of course, I would imagine, again, a solid practice again today kind of says, yeah, we're good. He has good knowledge of the offense. No need to put him at risk. And remember, next week is when you have the dress rehearsal, you can say, right? Because the third game is considered the fourth game in a way. So next week will be the dress rehearsal. You'll probably see Tua play as much as possible. And then the third game, I don't even know if he plays or he plays one series, and that's it. Now, offensive linemen will probably play more. Noah Igbenogany will be playing a ton, which is just awesome. And I'm really intrigued to see if Noah has, any successes today after several failures yesterday, which is expected. I'm really intrigued to see, but to hear that Tua is not going to play, I'm not shocked. I told a friend of mine, I can't wait. He goes to me, I can't wait for Saturday. I go, why? He goes, well, we get to see him play. I go, you're not going to see a lot of these guys. They're probably going to keep a lot of the starters out. And he's like, why? And I go, because they get to play, they get to practice against the Bucs Wednesday and Thursday. That's the real deal. You just played Tua against Tampa for 2 days. Why am I going to play him for a series against the Bucs in a preseason game that doesn't mean anything? I've already put him out at risk a couple of times. So I already know what it's like right now as it is. Yeah, I don't need to take a chance and give somebody some overzealous second stringer or rookie wants to, whack my quarterback and knock him out. You think I need to play X? I need to play Emmanuel Ogbah? No, man. No. Now, Austin Jackson, you got to play. Liam Eichenberg, you got to play. Teron Armstead? No. Connor Williams, probably got to play a little bit, right? And yesterday, by the way, seemed like a clean day overall for Connor. I read everybody. I didn't really see any kind of, reports of bad snaps or anything like that. So it looks like Connor had overall a pretty decent day yesterday. So that's good. But I still think you got to play him also, some too. I think that's important also for Connor to get a little time. So there are guys that are going to need to play some, but guys like, Teron Armstead, they don't need to play. And Tua, they don't need to play. Why? Because you've played him for 2 days now. For 2 days, he's had an opportunity to get measured. Obviously, he was happy with what he did today, By the way, poop art yesterday on Connor Williams. I think we responded. We came into the new area, and I think we all came together and responded well throughout the groups. Analysis, there were some rough moments in one-on-one protection drills, but the line held its own in team drills for most part, which was a very good sign against what was a good Tampa Bay front. And remember, he's not talking about snapping. So that's good, actually. And I didn't see that as an issue. None of the writers were posting any of that. And I thought that was actually a positive thing. But to get the news that Tua's not going to play, that I have no problem with that, considering he has played for 2 days now against the Tampa Bay Bucks. And he's done a decent job. The good thing is, it hasn't been the disaster we've heard in the past with some of these, in the last 2 years. They never were really good. Those practices usually, like, the offensive line was terrible, not holding its own like it did now, that kind of stuff. So I thought that was actually a real positive yesterday. We'll see what happens today, and I'm intrigued. Like I told you, this is the best part about this preseason and training camp, is that Trill Williams, Keon Crossan, who is making a little noise now, and then especially Noah Igbenogany will get a lot of playing time. And now you will get an opportunity to make a whole bunch of mistakes and see if you start to turn the corner. Kind of like Connor Williams. There were some bad snaps on a consistent basis. Well, Sunday he came up with a clean day, and yesterday he came up with a clean day. Let's see if he comes up with another clean day, and all of a sudden now you're turning that corner, and that concern will not turn into panic anymore, like I told you. And now you don't have to go searching for a center. You hope with Noah that as the preseason goes on, he gets better and better and better as the preseason goes on, and there's less and less mistakes. This is all a learning curve for him. So it'll be interesting to see how he kind of picks up on all of this. Anyway, hope you all are doing well. We are out here at Hialeah Park. How you feeling, Sean? You feeling good? Market's doing well. Market's doing really well. I don't know if you guys are following it, but crypto markets, everything going really, really well right now overall. And I it's a funny story. I'm watching an interview with Mark Cuban, and Cuban's a big crypto guy. And so they're asking him about a couple of, some coins that are in his portfolio. And so they asked him, how about, not the obvious ones, but how about, low cap coins? Which ones do you have on you? And I told you about Alethea, right? And Alethea is one that I picked up. I looked into it because Cuban talked about it, and what it is what's it called? NFTs, but it's artificial intelligence being added to your NFTs. And to me, I see that as something for the future that is definitely, NFTs, what people don't realize about NFTs is it's not just going to be something that you have in your digital wallet, but you're going to end up putting up your artwork or whatever you have of NFTs, your favorite players or whatever. You're going to put them up on frames in your house, digital frames that are going to be there. And you're going to end up doing stuff like that. And then with this stuff, I said to myself, okay, well, if this is the future, then I can see somebody putting up an NFT of somebody that they love. And then what you do is this company, you send them like a movie, that you filmed of that person that you love. And then they add that into your NFT. So all of a sudden your NFT will also be moving, and it'll be of somebody you love, your mom, your dad, your grandfather, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your dog, whatever, all that kind of stuff. And I found it very interesting. So and it's really cheap, actually. That's why he said low cap, and it was under 2 cents. So I loaded up a little bit on it just to let it sit there. And I said, okay, what the hell, And then he mentioned another low cap coin, and this one, it's a whole different ball game, right? It's INJ. Okay, if you want to try to look it up, although I wouldn't tell you to invest in it right now because I don't know what the future of it is, and I just put a couple of bucks into it just for the hell of it. I wanted to just what the hell, try it out. So I ended up getting it at 152, and it's called Injective Protocol, INJ. And I'll read it out to you what it is. Injective Protocol is a noteworthy project because it aims to solve problems in the financial world by employing blockchain technology, decentralized nature. INJ allows investors to participate in genuinely decentralized finance organizations where they have the power to make changes happen and introduce new ideas. So Cuban talks about this, right? And again, low market cap. It's $142 million cap. I mean, these other companies are in the billions. This is only 142 million, okay? Just to kind of throw it out there for you. Just an example. SHIB, okay, which is a meme coin, right? Considered, it's a almost $7 billion market cap. Okay. So I end up getting it at $1.52 INJ. Do you know where it's at right now? $2.26 in a couple of days. I got it on let me see, where was this? I got to go to the week now. Here it is. So I got it on Saturday. Because Saturday I was watching the interview with Cuban, and he throws those two out there, and I said, what the hell? I'll throw a couple of bucks in each. And that mother, by the way, I just want you to know, it already went as high as 250. Okay, it's back down to 226 right now, but it went all the way up to 250. I was almost up an entire dollar on each share. So there you go. And the other one, just so I could give it, it's ALI, or the acronym is ALI, and it's a long ass name. It's Alethea Artificial Liquid Intelligence Token. Of course, you're going to remember all of that. And that one's only got a $28 million market cap. It's like a tiny, tiny company. I know $28 million is a lot for you and me. But for these kind of companies, $28 million market cap. I mean, think about this. That's $28 million, right? Take a guess. What do you think the market cap is for Bitcoin? Okay, this one's $28 million. What do you think the market cap is for Bitcoin? Huh? $473 billion. Not million, billion. Okay? So that tells you the difference right there and how much it can grow. Decentraland, I'm a big Decentraland guy. The market cap for Decentraland is $2 billion. And these are in the millions. So imagine how much more that can grow in time. So anything under like 2 cents, why not? Load up. What the hell? It might end up happening. So just a little nugget out there, but it's really nice to see the way the market has been absolutely moving, man. And Injective Protocol was up like 54%, and now it's up only 15%. Only 15%, just a mere 15%. But it's nice to see the market blowing up, man. It is moving, and that is good. Inflation headed down, and those of us that hung in there strong, whether stocks or crypto, you're probably going to feel a nice little bounce back when it all goes down. Greater Good says, does Vegas still have the line at 8.5 wins? I don't know, dude. Why don't you go check? I love how people come to us to like do their work. Like, brother, the Google's there. Go look over NFL season totals on Google. Right there, Greater Good. Yeah, exactly. I did get it at 8.5. I went over 8.5. I already bet the Dolphins 8.5. I put my money where my mouth is. I believe in the Fins, and they're going to go 8.5. They're going to go into the playoffs this year. That's what's going to happen. Big O, when you say loaded up, what do you mean? Whatever, bro. It's whatever I can afford, whatever you can afford. That's all. Mind your own business, Andy. Omar is going to I Am Athlete. He probably will stay on with O. Well, we're in the middle of working that out. Not that is not promised. Okay, so business is business, man. I tried to explain that the other day when somebody wanted to interview one of our people, and I was like, no, they're exclusive. I'm sorry. And it was like, well, what do you mean? Yeah, it's exclusive, dude. It's a business. We're not playing games here. And so same thing here. And I totally understand that. I want what's best for Omar, period. So that's all. And hopefully everything will work out for him. This is his last practice. He's not covering any more practices for the Miami Dolphins after today. And
he said he shedded a tear this morning.
I doubt that very much.
Hey, check his Twitter account. He went in a whole little diatribe.
I doubt that very much. Well, you know what? I believe that there's a little bit of sadness because just like all writers, they're watching their business crumble around them. And the older riders are basically just hanging on at this point and hoping that these businesses can last long enough for them to, finish out their careers and retire and things like that. But younger riders, they got to really look out for themselves because it's just like radio. It's the same thing. Radio's dying. If you work in radio, you better find a way to do something on the digital side. And if you can't live on the digital side, then you're going to have to go start another career because radio's dying too, and that's just kind of the game. And Omar sees what's going on with the Sentinel and every other paper in this country. All papers are dying. They're all dying because we don't use the newspaper anymore. We don't listen to radio anymore. We don't watch traditional television anymore. All of that has changed. A lot of you don't even have a telephone in your home anymore. Do you have still a phone in your house? There's a lot of things you don't pay for. You don't have somebody collecting the toll anymore. And I think Omar, very smart. He sees what's going on. He's made a niche for himself on I Am Athlete. It's moved over also on Sirius. So he does a little TV or platform video, and then he does also a little audio. And that's super smart on his part. Any middle-aged to young writer, you have to be worried about that business that you're in. You have to be already looking for another option because writing is not a long-term option for you. It's just not. eventually we will not have many newspapers left. And it's sad too. But it's about platforms. And that's the way of the world now. And this is what I saw 2 years ago that I wanted to kind of get out of the rut of radio and all that stuff. And I saw what was going on. So I knew that this was the inevitable. And eventually, when I left, I told you guys that that place would end up filing for bankruptcy, just like every newspaper is going to end up filing for bankruptcy. And Omar knows it, and every other writer knows it, and they see what's going on. That was the first medium that went down. Newspapers. Radio's the next one. Radio's disappearing. You know what I mean? It's just that's the business. So Omar did a really, really intelligent thing. And you've got to fight for yourself in this world. And if you don't, corporate America is not going to fight for you. They're going to use you as long as they need you, and then they will get rid of you. That's what corporate America does. That's all. And we've been part of, bad organizations and more bad organizations. Have you been part of a good one yet? No. I got to give Beasley and Sirius the love. Everything else is a clown show that I've worked for. But, yeah. So Omar's doing the right thing. You got to get out. And every writer should be of a newspaper. If you're on ESPN, you're going to survive overall, probably. At least you have a better chance. You know what I'm saying? If you're part of a national type of website / platform, which that's what ESPN is. So you've got a chance there. But if you're working for the Herald or the Sun Sentinel or the Tampa Bay Times or the Palm Beach Post or whatever, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Look, the Palm Beach Post barely has any writers left. And so do the other papers. They've only got a couple left, man. When you think about, the lineups that used to be in these newspapers, how many writers and just the sports sections I'm talking about, how many different writers you had in a sports section. And you had multiple writers for one sport all the time in the same paper. Those days are, if you notice, it's less and less and less. I mean, the Herald has Barry Jackson and then a couple of other people. But Barry writes like 87 articles a day. He pops in at Heat Camp, Dolphin Camp, and Canes Camp. And he'll give you a little, Miami Marlins every once in a while or something. He'll sneak by. But, it's Canes, Dolphins, and Heat. And he's in all three of those. Luckily, they've got him on that paper, but there aren't a lot of Barry Jacksons of the world that are going to be, working like beasts all over the place. So it's a terrible business. Omar's doing the right thing. I commend him and I give him a lot of props for seeing through the trees and creating an option for yourself to get the hell out. You got to do that. You got to do that. I hope Omar stays with you, Big O. I value his opinion and his insight. I will still follow him on Twitter. Been so for 12 years. Well, you should. He's a good dude, man. Ragin says, yep, I got rid of my home phone. I'm 100% cell now. Yeah, I mean, if it's important, call me on the cell. If you can't call me on the cell, you must not be important in my life. That's all. Canes fans ACC network today is doing a bunch of stuff about the Canes. They are doing a road trip to Miami for a camp. Okay. What's that? Oh, it starts at 7 tonight? Okay. And tonight's the Jeter thing that Mish was talking about, right? Field of Dreams. What, the movie? We actually
tonight's the game.
Tonight's the real game at the Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch.
I'm very interested to see if preseason football does better than.
It'll kill it.
But this is the Field of Dreams game. At least they'll get a little bit of a spike.
It's baseball,
with that. But it is Reds and Cubs.
Dude, you can just show practice of a football team, and it'll crush anything baseball. Crush. Okay.
I don't know why they didn't do it on a Wednesday night right there. That would have been.
Yeah, that's right. Why would you do it against? Why would you put it up against anything NFL? Why? That's a great point on your part.
I mean, I get it. It's preseason, but it
doesn't matter.
It goes back to what we said. Major League Baseball doesn't realize how bad.
Yeah, they don't they have no awareness.
There's no awareness.
Yeah, you're right. They have zero awareness. Once again, zero awareness. And I get it. If you're a seam head out there, you go, oh, come on. Preseason football. Yeah, dude, get off your perch. Okay, relax. Baseball ain't jack shit in this country anymore. It's nothing. It's a niche sport now, is what it is. It's really not a major sport anymore. It's not where college football is. It's not where basketball is, and it's not where the NFL is. It's nowhere near the attention, the need, the want from the public. Forget about it, dude. Nobody gives a shit about the hot stove season, but everybody cares about the NBA free agency and NFL free agency. Whoa, they're going crazy. They're going crazy for college football transfers, transfer portals. I mean, everything about those three sports is bigger than anything and everything that baseball could produce. That's a great point on your part. What a bunch of dumbasses. You're putting it up against the NFL.
Carlos did say something here. They're putting the game on Fox, whereas the preseason games might be on your local channels and then the NFL Network. So just being on Fox, they're probably going to get a good little bump because everybody gets Fox. Not everybody gets NFL Network, and
the NFL
region's going to get the preseason game.
That's a good point. The NFL Network thing kind of ruins it.
Yeah,
but I still think they'll get even with NFL Network. I bet you there won't be much of a difference in viewership. Baseball doesn't get any viewership, dude. Yeah. Nobody cares. See, and here's the other thing. Let me explain something to you all. This baseball Field of Dreams stuff is only important to old people. That movie's from the 80s. Young people don't know about that movie. They don't care about that movie. That's not interested. Nothing. That movie does not move the needle for anybody, I don't know, under the age of 40, 35. Not at all. That movie moves the needle for old people. Me, Sean, older than us. Because one, it's baseball, which is an old person's sport. Two, Field of Dreams is a really old movie, and you've got to be old pretty much because young people probably won't even bother to watch a movie from, what year was that movie? I want to say 89, 87. Was it 90? Did it even get to 90? I don't know. It's somewhere in that window there. Field of Dreams. It's just not a movie that is in touch with a lot of young people. And young people don't watch baseball. And so old people are the ones that watch Field of Dreams, and old people are the ones that watch baseball. So I don't know how much it's really going to be that kind of a draw. 89? Yeah, I knew I was right in that area somewhere. And yeah. Nobody in their 30s and under cares about that game. That's an old person thing because of the movie. I mean, the movie alone is 33 years old now. Yeah. I would think that there's not going to be much of a difference in the viewership. It's just baseball doesn't drive it, man. They don't drive anything. What's that?
It's more the pageantry of before the game, like when they had
Right.
Kevin Costner walk through the cornfield, and then all the players, as he was slowly walking out, then all of a sudden all the players. Last year was the Yankees and the White Sox,
right?
Which I think is a better matchup than
Yes.
Cubs Reds. I mean, Cubs, yes, but I think you could probably find a better than Reds.
Cubs Reds is more important to the people in the Midwest.
Yeah, well, that's true. Maybe they're trying to get
the rivalry.
Yeah, no, I get that, but the Reds just don't.
Yeah,
to
the
me, don't
Reds
really-
Reds are garbage.
Yeah,
The Reds
move
mean
anything.
nothing.
It's more
dude.
I think the pageantry at the beginning. You're going to see the big numbers at the beginning,
Mhm.
and then they'll start tailoring off once the game starts playing.
Reds haven't meant anything since they swept the A's. And really, that was just like a flash in the pan. And they really haven't meant anything since their big red machine. But they had their one moment when they swept the A's. What was it? Duncan, right? That went on this incredible hitting streak or something like that. I think the kid's name was Duncan. Yeah. So, Reds are nothing. Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned it, I forgot about that also. Throw that in there. That'll kill also ratings around the country. No, the Cubs are terrible and the Reds suck. Like, there's nothing sexy about that matchup. Yeah, no, that's not going to drive any. Yeah, no, actually now, I'm going back the other way again. Even with the NFL Network, they'll have more people watching. Yes, definitely. Let's see. Baseball isn't what it used to be, no doubt, but go to LA, San Fran, Chicago, St. Louis, Houston, and the stadiums are packed. Yep, exactly. Yep. You got a couple of cities, but overall, the sport is pretty much dog crap. MLB has to do a better job of promoting the young stars. Yeah, we've been talking about that for years, and they know, and the players don't know how to promote themselves either. Don't just blame baseball. Blame the players. The players are stupid. They're not very smart. They don't get it. But then again, they get their money guaranteed, so they don't care. Oh, we need to send baseball to a therapist as one of their main goals is to help you have closure, forget the past, and find the identity in the here and now. Yeah, but it's an ugly identity now. Mitchell Young says, I'm about your age. Oh, and baseball to me has become hockey, a free buy sport for hardcore fans only. Yeah, it's a fringe sport nowadays. It's a niche sport, unfortunately. Big O, maybe Omar can just report for the Big O show only and do an I Am Athlete. I know I'm being greedy and maybe it's too much for Omar, but damn, Omar is a great Dolphins reporter. Well, we shall see, man. We will work everything out. Okay, one way or another. Either way, I just want what's best for Omar because he's a friend of mine for a long, long time, and I've been really happy working with him the last couple of years because we were able to do the onside stuff together, and then we continued here with him because I was kind of that a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now is I was trying to implement that kind of stuff there, but it was going to take time and, when they tell you after 4 months, no, and you're like, we've only been working at selling this for 4 months. You're going to give up after 4 months. That's, you're in trouble. So, and we've been at this a little longer than 4 months now, right? But Sean and I, this is our deal. So, it's like we're running the show, so it's really nice not to have to answer to anybody. That is the biggest pleasure in the world now that, we get to do the show however the hell we want to do the show. Big O, Noah is looking like a bust at this point. I have really done my best to watch him throughout camp, and he's still getting beat and making rookie mistakes. Alex, did you just vent that? Just to vent that? Because we all know that he's been struggling. And if you expected him to play clean football right now, without having gotten any kind of playing time throughout the first 2 years, you're completely off, man. So this is one where I keep telling everybody, it's not about now. It's about a couple of weeks from now. Can you make progress? He's not supposed to look good at the beginning of camp. He's supposed to start looking better as it goes on. So now it started this week with, actual opposite competition. And he's had some moments in camp, in Dolphins camp. Now he's got to. Today's a good day. Today to see if you see a little success for him. And then on Saturday, if he starts to have a little more success in the middle of a game. All of those things are important for him, but I'm not really going to measure him until a couple of more weeks. I'm going to give him some time. I did the same thing with Connor. I told you, okay, you can be concerned, but it's not panic time. Let's see what he does this week going into the Bucs game. And so far, the snapping has gotten better for Connor. So let's give Noah some time so he can go up against receivers and see what they do. And now he ran up against Julio Jones a couple of times and he schooled him. Now he kind of knows what Julio's trying to do a little bit. And maybe he can get a little better now. Watch a little film. Get prepared. All of those things. He needs to make a ton of mistakes. And then he needs to see how, and then we need to see how he corrects those mistakes. And that's the part we don't know yet. But you got to give him some time, man. He hasn't really played at all. Carlos says 162 games are too much. A team like the Marlins, it's so painful. It's a long season. But listen, the season has nothing to do with why ownership is not committed to winning. That's all. And it's up to Sherman. And until he actually proves that he's committed to winning, we're going to have the same thing. And it doesn't matter how many games it is. Hialeah Park really had a nice makeover from the looks of, Hialeah Park is beautiful, man. It is beautiful. It's a non-smoking casino. They do have outside the smoking hot slots. It's a patio area. It's got all kinds of ventilation and fans and all that, so they keep it cool. But you can smoke outside. But inside, no smoking. Not here in the second floor. Not in the casino. Nowhere. And that's pretty cool. And then obviously the architecture is just absolutely gorgeous and everything else. So it's really cool. Yes, sir. What do you got for us?
Travis Wingfield. Every rep from Jalen Waddle in that period resulted in a catch, and the DB just stopping as Waddle finished it, running to the end zone, could not cover him. Another one from the buzz you hear among the media around Tyreek Hill is something I've never heard in almost 30 years of following this team. A Tampa reporter walks by shaking his head, just saying, wow, 10 is something.
Right, of course.
And Preston Williams did beat his man, overthrown, threw his hands in the air, looking back at the missed opportunity.
Who threw it?
Skyler.
Well, okay.
And
but it's like
again, these are just on one-on-ones right now. One-on-ones.
I know, but don't. But Preston acting like dude, relax, bro.
So
and
so far, that's what you got at one-on-ones right now.
You know what pisses me off about Preston Williams? Hearing that you throw your hands up in the air because Skyler overthrows you, and look, Skyler doesn't have an accurate arm right now. He's got a gun, but he doesn't know exactly where it's going. But see, here's the problem with Preston Williams. Dude, don't complain. You put yourself in this position. You came in like a whirling dervish your rookie year. Why didn't you continue? You didn't. You got lazy. You dropped passes. You got injured a lot. Then you got overweight last year. You went all the way up to 230 pounds. Now you're back at 210. And now you see that they brought in Tyreek and they brought in Cedric and they brought in Ezukama and they've got Waddle. And now you see that your career is, on the brink. So now you're panicking and you're pointing fingers and you're complaining and you're whining. And dude, you're already in your third year. You had your chance. Your chance was there. You could have forced them, by the way, to not draft Jalen Waddle. Does he know that? Does he realize that? That if he actually built on what he did the first year when X, who covers number one wide receivers all the time, says, that guy's playing like a number one wide receiver. Clearly, the Lord blessed you with the ability. We've all watched your ability, Preston Williams. But you've had a maturity problem all throughout your collegiate and professional career, and it continues to rear its ugly head. Preston Williams, look in the mirror. You have put yourself in this position. Don't point fingers at Skyler. By now, you could have been entrenched and established as the guy along with Tyreek, and that's it. Nobody would have said anything. And you wouldn't be having Skyler throw to you. It would have been Tua, and then you would have been resting. And you probably wouldn't have played on Saturday. But you chose another path. Your head got big. You got a little bit of praise. And because of that, you never got any better. In fact, you regressed. And now you've regressed to the point that your job is on the line. So in all of your panic, as the interrupters would say, in the mirror, only in the mirror. Go look at it. That's the only person you can blame. Yes, sir.
Omar Kelly reporting on offensive line, defensive line drills.
Oh, yes. What do we got?
Watching O-line versus D-line drills, and everyone but Solomon Kindley is going well to go. Have a feeling Kindley's days are numbered if they're based on performance, and he says been very impressed with Austin Jackson's technique, and he's not blocking slouches.
Wow. Omar Kelly says, been very impressed with Austin Jackson's technique, and he's not going up against slouches. Oh, man.
And he just threw in Robert Jones is clearly the Dolphins' best backup offensive lineman.
Okay. There you go.
And in the best room, Omar Kelly impersonation. Everyone else is blah.
I love it. I love it. And that's the other thing that I've been waiting for too, is the O-line. It's what I told Matt yesterday. That's the key, man. If the O-line can come through, then I think everything else will end up working itself out. I really believe that. Something happened there?
Listen.
What do you got now? Talk to me.
Joe Shad said Robert Hunt did some good things. I feel like that's high praise coming from Joe Shad.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
wow. Yeah. Yeah, Joe Shad
said less so for Solomon Kindley.
Well, okay. All right. Retweet back to him. Do you give Robert Jones an A?
That's not going to happen. He doesn't give A's. There's no A's.
Big O, did you see that big DT from Georgia push that O-line back at Eagles practice? No, I did not. I did not see it. Dan B, Big O, Williams needs to go. He has so much of an ego issue. We don't need this. Get rid of him now. Dude, he'll bury himself. Don't worry about it. I mean, the guy's invested in Dogecoin. Come on. I can already tell he was up that creek without a paddle when he's bragging about Dogecoin. I can already tell he's a fake crypto guy that doesn't do his homework. Yes.
Just if anybody's wondering, Tom Brady will not be at practice today and for the next few days. Personal reasons will be addressed after practice.
Yeah, he's got some the crypto markets bounce back. He's working with FTX, making some investments. Yeah, and that way all the Miami people are gone. They don't have to ask the questions about ownership and all that other stuff and playing for the Dolphins. We got you, Tom. We know what's going on. You know, yeah, now he can't get fined because he had personal issues. Yesterday, he wasn't available. He had treatment. And then, Tom had some personal things he had to attend, so we excused him. Sorry, guys. Sean, do you think Kenny Omega comes back with the Young Bucks in the trio tournament? Uh-oh. What do we got? First Dolphins passing play, high snap, Connor Williams. Not to be harsh, but worth monitoring. Connor working hard on this. Okay. We had a snap. Okay. So you didn't answer the question. Kenny Omega, does he come back with the Young Bucks in the trio tournament? Which I have no idea what the hell he's asking about.
I will not say no, but I don't see him coming back with CM Punk returning last night. I don't know that you do back-to-back weeks of surprise, especially being CM Punk and Kenny Omega, but we'll see. I mean, you got to have a tag team partner. Apparently, Hangman turned him down, so we'll see what happens. It is pro wrestling. You never know.
Joey Vasquez says, you're the best at what you do. Oh, by the way, Howard wasn't so great at the beginning of his career. Noah may or may not be on the same path. Give it time. I agree. I just want Noah to get a lot of playing time. And I told you this weeks ago. It's awesome that Jones is out. One, I don't need to see him. He's established. He can do his job. Does a hell of a job overall. I need Noah playing this whole preseason, playing a lot, as much as possible. He needs to get beaten down in order to grow. That's how he's going to grow. He has to make a bunch of mistakes. Nick Needham looked terrible too, man. And he grew and he figured it out. You got to do the same thing with this kid. That's why I'm really looking forward to today and then Saturday and the next week and see if there's progress with Noah. Yes, sir.
I just read something interesting just because you were talking about Tua with what Mike McDaniel said about, and when you broke it down, you said it's him catching on to the offense, him, showing what he's done in practice, everything.
Right.
Colts head coach Frank Wright said QB Matt Ryan will play the full first quarter of the Indianapolis preseason opener.
Okay.
So, opposite? Because Matt Ryan doesn't need the playing time unless they feel he doesn't catch.
It's a whole new offense for him, too, just like Tua. But I guess, I don't know.
Maybe just different coaching philosophies. Again, I don't know. I mean, I just find it odd that, Matt Ryan, because I don't think he's ever played in a preseason opener.
They do have a monster line. Like, they have a good line, so, like, they figure they'll keep him clean. Yeah, no, that's just
seemed weird to me to see that Matt Ryan's name being like preseason opener.
Yeah.
Full quarter. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
And maybe it's full quarter and then it's less and less for him.
Yeah, but also, I mean, again, they don't get the ball. The other team drives. It might only get what?
A series or two.
Depending on how the game plays out, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Manji's vlog, you about to get blasted and what? And ghosted? Manji, what? I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I guess somebody was doing something there. In honor of Omar last week, can you answer his famous last question in his first and 10 interviews? Who would you want to have your back in a bar fight? Sean Stanley. That's it. Quick answer for you. Let's see. Some fans are quick to jump off a player, give the kid a shot. From what I can see in practice, it appears Noah needs to track the ball better. He has the athleticism to cover, but doesn't play the ball. Needs a lot of reps, coaching, and practice to get there. Ball skills are not easy, man. What happened now? What happened? What are you pumping your
They're just throwing out everything here. Tyreek Hill catches a short pass from Tua, hiked his way into the end zone for a TD. That refs called. First drive for Tua, an 11-on-11, leads 2 points. Teron Armstead worked the whole rep.
Okay, so that's why you don't need to play him on Saturday. That's why you don't need to play Tua on Saturday, because you've got 2 days of going up against the Bucs defense. What more do you need? What's a series against the Bucs in a preseason game that you're going to put them at risk? Yeah, it's just it makes no sense.
You're going to get that Sean Stanley defensive tackle out there trying to make the team go to his knees or something.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And Jeffrey, you're right. Baseball has become like a regional sport. Yeah, it's a niche sport, regional sport, whatever you want to call it. It's not something that draws the nation's attention anymore. Jared Nichols says faith in Tua. Big O Williams needs to go. I agree. He'll go eventually. Let's see. Super V, Big O. Preston Williams reminds me of a Yatil Green type of player who potential never amounted to nothing because of injuries and other factors. Wait a minute. Hold on, Super V. I got to stop you in your tracks there because I know Yatil Green. Yatil Green was a great young man, a super hard worker, a great athlete, okay? A hell of a player. The only problem that Yatil Green ever had was that his body never held up. Please don't ever lump Yatil Green into Williams. Yatil Green accomplished things in college. He was a very good player. He got injured a lot, even in college. And obviously in the NFL, his body never held up. But that was the only reason. He was never a bad person. He was never lazy. He was never unprofessional. I will have none of that here, okay? Because I know the guy. I covered the guy. And he still owes me money, by the way. I'm not letting that go there, Yatil. You owe me money. But outside of that, okay, great dude. Great dude. Trace Armstrong, you also owe me money. Great dude also. Don't make bets with media members, athletes, because we know more than you. You use your little emotions and your heart. Media members, we look at it objectively. Just make sure, don't make bets with media members, football players. We will school you 99% of the time. Okay? But, I bet, I'm not going to tell you how much money, but Northwestern, I believe it was Northwestern, they were playing Plant City, I think it was, years ago, for a high school championship. And I was in the locker room with Yatil, and he's bragging about Plant City. And I go, Yatil, come on, buddy. You played down here for a while. You know we have the best football in the state. I believe it was Northwestern. Somebody look it up. Plant City state championship. When did we draft Yatil Green? I want to say 97, 98, maybe. So it must have been whatever. I think it was Northwestern. It was one of our powerhouse teams down here. I'm pretty sure it was Northwestern. And I'm like 1,000% sure it's Plant City because that's where Yatil Green went to high school. So I won't tell you the amount of money we bet, but we bet, and I won, and he didn't pay. And then comes Trace Armstrong. You remember when the Gators played the Canes back in the day when Trace was with us? Remember? That was the other kind of Canes, not these kind of Canes that we've seen the last 15 years. No, the other kind of Canes. And so Trace was also talking up his Gators, okay? And I bet with him a significant amount of money. And he owes me a significant amount of money that didn't pay. That's the other thing I have learned about pro players now. If I ever make a bet again with a professional player, you're going to have to give me the money up front because I don't trust your asses. And I think in the end, professional players look at us like we're ringers deep down inside. They can talk all the shit they want that they know the sport, but deep down inside, they know we follow the entire sport and we end up knowing more than they do. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What was it? You got it for me? High school? No, just go South Florida, the history of South Florida high school football championships, and then look at the late 90s and Plant City. Just tell me when they lost. They lost to, and I don't know who the hell it was. And that's it. And that'll be it. It'll be somewhere in the late 90s. The state championship at 97, right? Okay, so I was right. I said like 97. So it must have been 98 probably, the state championship that we were making that bet. And so Yatil, you owe me money. Trace Armstrong, you owe me money. Money. But, you know, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? Huh? They beat? No, they lost too. Oh, they beat. Oh, okay. So they beat South. So it must have been a semifinal game. Okay, so in '98 they won it. Yeah, that was it. That was it. It was Northwestern '98 for sure. So Northwestern beat Plant City to get to that championship. Then that's what it was. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that because I know I won the damn bet. And I'll never forget that I won that damn bet. Just like I won the bet that the University of Miami would kick the Gators' ass. And I think I gave them points and everything too. I remember I looked over to Bo Camper and said, "You want a piece of this?" He was like, "No." Man. Austin Jackson has been holding his own so far. Good. That's what we want to see. We want to see, progression. We want to see improvement from Austin Jackson. That's what it's all about, baby. That's what we need to see, and we're hopefully going to get. If you want to get in, by the way, 855-912-1056 is the Welt and Rheaume text line. That's 855-912-1056 on the Welt and Rheaume text line. Also, do want to remind you that Welt and Rheaume is a proud sponsor of our program. As you can tell, they run the text line here for us. And Welt and Rheaume is the law firm that you need. They will bring the insurance companies to their knees. So make sure you reach out to Welt and Rheaume and tell them that Big O sent you. 954-966-4646 for bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, all of those things. Welt and Rheaume. And call them, man. Jeff and Daniel, they are great people. They work hard. They've been at this for well over 20 years. Their offices are in Hollywood. 954-966-4646 if you want to get in there and you get a law firm that is definitely going to be behind you. All right, what else do we have going on? We also have our liquor split matchup of the night. And there was good, and then there was a little bit bad. And you got to love the people in Vegas. Let's go with our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
All right. How about Vegas? Sons of bitches, huh? Sons of bitches. So yesterday, Phillies and Miami, and I took the Marlins plus 1.5, and I got it right. I mean, when I do bet Marlins, we do end up winning sometimes here in this streak. And they got it done. The only thing that I said was under 7, and the bastards ended up scoring exactly 7 runs. So it ends up becoming a push, right? It's not a loss, or is it a push? How is that? Yeah, but I bet under 7. It ends up at 7. Do I end up losing because it's at 7? See, I didn't really bet that one. I only bet the Miami plus 1.5. So I did not bet that one. I don't remember now what happens when you. No, I didn't parlay it. Oh yeah. I would have known. Yeah. I think it's a push, right? Is it a push? Can somebody help me on that? Is it a push if I said under 7, but it stayed at 7? Or is it a loss? I think it's a loss, isn't it? Because I said under 7. If it goes to 7, didn't I lose? I think I lost. So I'm going to go with loss. and I'm going to go 26-11. I'm not going to give myself a tie on this. I'm going to go with a loss because I think it's a loss. I'm not as sure now. I'm confused now because I don't remember the last time that I bet an over and under and it ended up on the number, and did I win or I don't even remember that anymore. So I'm kind of confused. Fulgencio says it's a loss. Adrian says it's a push. Bernardo says it's a loss. If it was under 6.5, then it would be a loss. So if it's under 7 and I say under 7, wait a minute. Go ahead. What happened?
With an over-under of 48 points, if the final score added up to exactly 48 points, the bet would be a push.
Ooh, nice.
And bets would be refunded.
All right, so
that's from thelines.com.
Adrian, you know your stuff. Fulgencio, I will never trust you again on betting. So we are now 26-10-1. Yeah, baby. Yeah. So you won yesterday with me. Ha. Yeah. There we go. You got a win and a push, bitch. Ha. Official. It's a push. Wow. So it took the 37th bet for it to be a push. What happened?
Wild Printing just went with both sides. It's a push. It's a loss. I'm right either way.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so now we're 26-10-1 with the win and the push. Sandy, by the way, I thought he was going to be better last night, and he got, pushed around a little bit for 4 earned runs. But you got to love Vegas, how the over and under 7, and it ends up right at 7, dude. I mean, they're so good. And then the 1.5 runs, and I win by half a run. How many of these, in this win streak of 26-10-1, of those 26 wins, how many of them are by like half a run? Right? Like 25 of them. It's nuts, man. Right, when I didn't bet on the Marlins, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They won 4-0. I remember. Yeah. Yeah, or 6-0. Yeah, they won by a bunch of runs. So we gave you a win. We gave you a push. Sandy, unfortunately, struggled a little bit. Marlins are wrapping it up with the Phillies today. Edward Cabrera is on the mound. He's 2-1, and he's got a 2.61 ERA. Phillies, Kyle Gibson is 7-4, and he's got a 4.36 ERA. I don't know. Is Kyle Gibson part of the Gibson brothers? Anybody know the Gibson brothers? What's the famous song for the Gibson brothers? Come on, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, I don't want to give you time to Google it. Cuba, quiero bailar la salsa. That's the Gibson brothers. Anyway, so Kyle Gibson is there, 7-4, 4.36 ERA. So the line for tonight, Philly is minus a 1.5. The over and under is 8.5 runs. Miami is plus 140 on the money line, and Philly is minus 165 on the money line. I got to tell you something, man. I am going to ride here, Philly. They have been red hot. They are on a just absolute tear. They have now won 12 of their last 13 games. They're 8-4 against the Marlins so far this year. They swept them the last time. I think they're going to go for another sweep. And, this is just, they're a better team right now, and the Marlins are just not a good team. And I know Cabrera's pitched pretty well overall, but Gibson hasn't been too bad. He's got a good record. I just don't expect a lot of run support. And hell, they produced 3 runs yesterday, which is a lot. I'm going Phillies minus 1.5 runs today in our liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download then tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
All right, it's a beautiful thing. Don't forget, if your business wants to be a part of our platform And we are growing and we are excited. We've got some exciting programs that we want to add, from Dolphins coverage to Miami Hurricanes coverage, all kinds of stuff. If your company wants to be a part of some of the shows that we want to put together, putting together a couple of different Canes shows, also Dolphin shows. We're really excited about some of that stuff. If your business wants to be a part of our platform, you want to showcase your platform, great marketing, great branding, and of course, you're going to pick up a lot of new customers locally, statewide, nationwide, and even internationally with the kind of reach that our platform we are blessed to have now. Reach out to us on our business line at 786-754-4664. If you can't, maybe you're out of the country, you want to reach out to us by email, bigradioshow@yahoo.com. We will travel anywhere in the world to meet our new customers and promote their business. 786-754-4664, or you can email us at bigradioshow@yahoo.com. All right, there we go. And if you want to get in on the text line, we will answer your questions on the text line, the Welt and Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. Sean Stanley mastering the program. Quick break. Give us 2 minutes. Hour number 2 is next.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty, we are back. Hour number 2 here at Hialeah Park, where Skylar Thompson has thrown 3 touchdowns and Mike Gesicki is blocking. That's the report. Omar Kelly giving Mike Gesicki a little love on the way out on his blocking. Yeah. Oh, we got a super chat. Greg Sashy or Sachet. Is it Sashi? Sashay? Chasse Shante. Hit that like button, Fins fans. That's right, Greg. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Always a strong supporter of our program and a little super chat love. We appreciate you. Remember, you can also send on Cash App and Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show over at Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. And remember, on Cash App, you can make a Bitcoin donation, as DJ Gallagher has done. He's the only one that's done the Bitcoin donations on Cash App. So we've got Mike Gesicki blocking. All right. We've got Skylar Thompson throwing touchdowns all over the place. I like him, man. I've told you guys this several times. He's an interesting project. And Austin Jackson's playing pretty well. Teron Armstead has been throughout the entire time blocking, and they just Tua just drove the team down for a touchdown, and Chase had a really nice run, and Teron Armstead was there the entire time. So, there's some good things. The Connor Williams stuff, now it starts to become a concern now. And panic will start to set in. I got to tell you. Because, yesterday it was clean. Today it has not been. And you cannot do that. You got to get back to more clean days. These are the kind of things that it just has to be perfect. Snapping cannot be an issue. Blocking is tough enough as it is. You got to make the right line calls, and you got to snap the ball. The other part, okay, not everybody's, perfect at blocking. You're going to make mistakes, but you got to be perfect at snapping. This is unacceptable for Connor Williams. That's scary. That's the stuff that's going to cost you a game. I told you, if it continued this week, you got to go center hunting. And you got the game on Saturday. I think you go center hunting after the game if he doesn't have a clean game. You're at a casino. I would think you can just stop and ask someone. Well, no, but they're not doing sports gambling here. So that's a different kind of gambling. They don't do that here. If they had that, then maybe that would be second nature to them. But right now, it's not. It's all horse betting right now. They don't have any sports betting here, man. Remember, that was coming, but they put the kibosh on it, unfortunately. Howie Long said it. Baseball is America's pastime. Football is America's passion, as in old and over. Yeah, it is past. It is past its time. You're right about that. And please hit the like button. Bradley is right. Please hit that like button. And follow our other channel, Big O Show Cuts. We need to get that one to 1,000 as soon as possible. So those of you that are here, and if you have not subscribed to Big O Show Cuts, and we put other interviews and sound bites there that you're not going to see here. So just in case, go to Big O Show Cuts, and please support that, because we're going to also have live programming coming out of that too. All of that all of that kind of stuff is in the works. Lisa says, I know Finns are waiting to see how Connor does, but why not kick the tires on Treader? Well, problem is nobody's kicked the tires on Treader, and you wonder why. So, Philadelphia is another great team to have a joint practice with this preseason. They have a top 5 O-line for Dolphins defense to go up against. These joint practices are huge against quality teams. Smoke it up, Johnny. Mike No-Go Zone says, yes, it is. Unfortunate sports betting isn't legal in our casinos yet. Nope. It's asinine how we're so backwards at times in this state. It takes us forever to catch up with all that kind of stuff, man. It's ridiculous. It really is. There's too much. Too much. What can I tell you? One of the things that I did want to talk about today on the Dolphins side, McDaniel talked a little bit about him calling plays, and he would have 4 or 5 coaches helping him in the process because they have their expertise. And I think you're going to have guys that are, and this is nothing new. This probably goes on in all teams, that you have your run game coordinators, you have your pass game coordinators, right? You have your offensive line guy. And so you will have your running backs coach, and you'll have your receivers coach, and so everybody will be looking at their positions to see if they're doing their jobs. Because if the run game breaks down, well, they want to know exactly where the breakdown was. Was it the 5 linemen? Or was it that the fullback missed a block? Or was it that the wide receiver missed a block? Or was it that the tight end missed a block? And because everything is needed to get done, one of the things that I do like about what McDaniel is trying to do and trying to accomplish, and I think that this is the reason why he's got everybody's attention. It's not about it's my way or the highway type of thing. He has a philosophy, but clearly he doesn't have the ego where, oh no, this is my way and this is the only way we're going to do things. No, he's pretty open about Wes Welker telling him, hey, no, this receiver, that receiver's this got to do this. Frank Smith telling him, no, feeding him whatever info on the O-line that he's got to know about. And I like that. I think that's a really cool thing. And there's a reason why, again, we keep talking about how McDaniel is a communicator and how he reaches people in different plateaus. Well, another way to reach your coworkers, your assistant coaches, is to make sure that they're involved in the game plan, to make sure that they have a say with what's going on, make sure they have a responsibility in the moment that makes them feel needed too in the same time. And I think that's what when he says he's got 4 or 5 coaches helping with their expertise, I think that's really, really smart. We talk about that key word that you just talked about with baseball, Sean, awareness, that they have no awareness. Mike McDaniel has an awareness that he's not doing this by himself. And whether it's he's comfortable working, which I hope this is long-term, but with Chris Grier doing, all the personnel stuff, and then he gets to do the coaching, and he gets to obviously handle his assistant coaches and then reach the players. And he doesn't have a problem delegating responsibility, which I got to tell you something. I think that's a great way of being a leader. If you can delegate and not have to micromanage the people you hire, you actually give your people more confidence in doing their jobs. If you're on top of people, constantly correcting them and fixing their mistakes, and it's degrading. It almost feels, and some of you have been part of those kind of businesses where you've got a boss that is so controlling that they need to have a say in everything, and they've got to, just to feel good about themselves, they'll change something of every aspect of everything going on just so they can prove that they were a part of everything. They don't allow somebody to just run the show in a certain aspect and let them have the success. No, they've got to be a part of it. They've got to inject themselves in it. And it doesn't seem like McDaniel's that guy. It seems like Belichick's that guy, right? It's worked out for him with Brady. So far without Brady, we haven't seen any championships yet without Brady, but he does micromanage every position. So does Saban, by the way. While you're coaching, he's still coaching above you. And yeah, those guys are successful. There's no doubt about it. But I think there's other ways of being successful. And if you're able to delegate and give people an empowerment and being a part of what they're doing, and at the same time, it's kind of a psychological ploy too, because while you're engaging them and getting them involved, you're also giving them the burden of responsibility. So it makes them feel like they're a bigger part of it, but it also motivates them to stay on their edge because you've given them that responsibility. Now they have to live up to it. So that internal pressure is a good thing. And I like when he was talking about that approach, because I think that's kind of what I was explaining, that to be a good offense, you're going to have to listen to your running backs coach, because he's going to be looking at his position guys. And you're going to have to listen to your wide receivers coach, and you're going to have to listen to your offensive line coach, and you're going to have to listen to your offensive coordinator, and you're going to have to listen to your defensive coordinator and your linebackers coach and your defensive ends and all that, because they're all looking at their specific positions to make sure their guys are doing their job and doing their specific assignments that they need in each play. So they've got all the binocs are out there, right? And they're all looking at their specific guys, and they know what their guys are supposed to do. Every time that play is called, they know the responsibility of that free safety. That guy knows the responsibility of the left guard, and the other guy knows the responsibility of the running back. And that's kind of part, I think, of what McDaniel was talking about, that it's kind of a collective thing, and making sure you have the right people who are executing, who are playing well at the moment, and, of course, making sure that you have the right players at the same time to run the play that you need. But I thought that was kind of interesting when they were talking about that today. Dan B says, Big O seems that Treader must be asking for too much. This state has always been behind and does things backwards, never thinks ahead. Examples, roads and industry. Yeah, no, you're right. It's been like that. And old people have kind of set us back. Old farts when it comes to gambling and weed and, stuff like that. It just, we're always ass backwards too. Now, I don't really blame South Florida because we're a little bit more modern. I will blame more Central Florida and the Panhandle. That's more backwards, way more backwards. They kind of set us back. I agree on the coach's way of doing his work at this point in his head coaching career. He has his own ideas, but seems to keep an open mind to what his staff has to say. I think it's important. You got to do it that way, man. Penguin says, I can't wait for Saturday night. Can't remember the last time, if ever, I ever felt this good about a team. Let's go Dolphins. Now, remember, you're going to see a lot of backups. You're not going to see a lot of starters. They're not going to be playing Teron Armstead. It seems like they're not even going to play Tua. You're not going to see X. There's a bunch of players that you're not going to see on Saturday. What you're just train yourself for Saturday. This is how you got to watch Saturday. I want to see what progress Noah Igbenogany is making. I want to see if Trill Williams, if Noah's not good enough, can he do the job? This Keon Crossan kid who, had to play on Blaine Gabbert yesterday, is he going to make any kind of noise to be a backup, corner? Let me see who the other wide receivers are going to be. I don't need to see Waddle and I don't need to see X. Eric Ezukama has had a fantastic camp, continues to make plays today. How is he doing? This is what you want. Your offensive line is probably going to play some, except for Teron Armstead. Connor Williams, how is the snapping going on in a live game? How is Austin Jackson playing? How is Liam Eichenberg doing? What is Robert Jones doing? How is Robert Hunt playing? We got to find out about all of those kind of things. That's what we got. Hey, Channing Tindall is going to get some playing time. All right. Is he running out of plays? Is he on target here? Is he getting people behind the line of scrimmage? Can he cover? Brandon Jones, has he gotten better in coverage if he plays a little bit? All these this is what you want to look out for when you watch on Saturday. It's not really about, let me watch Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Tua and Teron Armstead and Jalen Phillips. I doubt you're going to see much of those guys, if any of those guys, because there's no reason to see any of those guys. There's more reason to find out about all the other guys to see if they can play. So if you're a football geek, you'll be fine on Saturday. If you're a football front runner, you're not going to enjoy Saturday. Saturday's not about the starters, and you're going to see very few of those starters actually play. And you know what? Michael Dieter's back at practice. That's also really good. I wonder if Dieter will be in shape enough to play a little bit. And if he is, well, also see where Dieter is as the center also, because you're having trouble right now with Connor Williams and the snapping. What a shame. Yesterday it wasn't an issue, and it got back today, man. Would have been nice to get 3 days in a row. He ends up getting 2 in a row, unfortunately. Sucks.
I almost feel, and again, we've said it already before, too. You've said it a lot of times. To me, it's more mental. And I think today he had that one, and then now it just kind of snowballed. And now it's like, because we hadn't heard of Tua having to jump. Yeah, they've been high, but they've always been there. Now it's almost like he's concentrating so much that now he's forcing the issue. Now they're high. He's having to jump. He's having to hit the ground, and they're going, again, 3 snaps. But again, I think it's more. He's starting to think
one is too many.
One is too many. But I think what happened is he had that bad snap. He started thinking about it, and then now it's just it's snowballing today.
Yep, I'm with you there. Let's see. I had no idea about sports gambling in Florida. Wow. Okay. I'm mostly looking forward to seeing the guys like Tyndall, O-line, corners. That's what it's going to be about. Ricardo Solorio says, you want to see Noah's progress, only person who made us look bad yesterday. Yeah. I actually want to see Skylar Thompson. Yep, that's another one. Because you're developing a nice little backup quarterback there. If he can develop over the next year, then he takes over for Teddy. Let's see. Top 3 undrafted players who have a chance to make the 53. I'd have to look at the roster. Top 3 undrafted. Well, Trill Williams is undrafted, right? If I'm correct. I want to say. Let me see what you got here. Undrafted. Undrafted. Trent Sherfield is undrafted. He will make the team for sure. And I think River Craycraft, undrafted, he'll make the team for sure. Braylon Sanders will make the practice squad, not the team, but it's kind of the team. Skylar Thompson, they will try to hide in the practice squad because if Skylar Thompson continues to play well, somebody's going to just take his ass. Zaquandre Wright might make the practice squad. Make the team, undrafted. Trill Williams, undrafted, will make the team along with Craycraft and Sherfield. Sheldrick Redwine might make the team as a backup safety. Undrafted. Maybe. I guess it'll be between him and Fagellum. Let me see. Well, Zach Seiler already made the team undrafted. But he's already on the team, so I'm cheating there. Hey, the Darius Hodge kid. He might be one of the back end linebackers undrafted. He's a free agent. Those are some of the kids that might make it. Right there. That I can think of at least. And Robert Jones, by the way, is also undrafted, but he was on the team last year. So he'll make it. So I'm kind of cheating there also. While Printing and Graphics says they're probably going to showcase Preston, see if they can get value up. Well, it's up to him, man. Just tuning in from Texas. Just waking up. Do you think we will see Tua on Saturday? I already talked about it. It looks like he says no. The coach doesn't think he'll probably end up playing him. So I don't think you'll see much of Tua because he's played 2 days straight against the Bucs. No reason to really play in the preseason game and risk anything. I think it's next week where you kind of set it all up for that main game, and then the third game is just the backups. Greer and the scouting department have done well finding undrafted guys. They've done, see, the problem with the whole thing with Greer and Allen and McKenzie that becomes an absolutely unfair argument is everybody goes and says, "Whoa, that 1 year, Noah Benogamy, Austin Jackson, and Tua," right? But they don't look at Brandon Jones and Raekwon Davis in that same draft, right? Because those two are already looking pretty good, right? Tua's turning the corner. Maybe Austin Jackson does. So, people panic, right? But then they don't mention that, well, you hit also on Waddle, right? Robert Hunt wasn't a bad player last year, so you might have hit on him. You hit on Gesicki. He's been a good player overall. Yeah, you look at the rest of the team. You picked up an Emmanuel Ogbah. That was a hell of a pickup, right, for the team. You drafted Raekwon Davis. You drafted Christian Wilkins, who's gotten better and better and better every year. You drafted Jalen Phillips, okay? Jerome Baker has been a solid pickup from the third round. Not a great player, but solid. Xavier Howard has been a steal. Brandon Jones has been a good pickup. Javon Holland is a monster. Nick Needham, you found him off the scrap heap, and he's become a good player for you. Eric Rowe was a so-so corner. You made him a better safety because you have him covering tight ends. You found the role for him. Andrew Ginkle was a good pick. Let's hope that Tyndall turns into something. But Ginkle has been a good pick and has gotten better overall. And as a fifth rounder, I'm expecting a big year out of him. Sam Eguavoen has been a really nice free agent pickup as a backup linebacker. Zach Seiler has been an absolute steal and a monster in free agency. Oh, by the way, the Porter Gustin kid has kind of been showing a little some for the guys that are asking me about undrafted. Trill Williams starting to look like maybe he might be the next Nick Needham, a guy that, might end up becoming a decent player. Duke Riley, not a bad player as a bench player, a backup guy. You go up and down that roster, and there's a lot of players that were also picked as street free agents, undrafted guys that are also helping the team. Everything can't be about draft picks, and you're not going to hit on all draft picks, but they've hit on a lot of their draft picks, and then they've hit on other players outside of those draft picks. I think this front office has done a marvelous job in building this team overall. Robert Jones is a guy that's undrafted, and who knows, you might end up finding yourself a decent player there. Durham Smythe hasn't been a bad addition in the fourth round. There's you start to look up and down that roster, and there are guys there, whether they're early, mid, late round picks, street free agents, undrafted guys, and they hit on all kinds of guys. So when you do miss on a guy maybe in the draft, you're still finding a Seiler somewhere else. And I think that's incredibly important because that kind of makes up for it. And if Noah never becomes that guy, but then Trill does, well, then, you kind of made up for it a little bit there. It sucks to miss on the guy, but it helps to find, a couple of those guys and need them. And if a Trill becomes, a good player, you never know. I'm not giving up on Noah, but I'm just saying if it happens where, okay, this one didn't work out, but you found somebody else somewhere else. Okay, cool. That makes up for it. And they've done a really good job, I think, overall of drafting. And then they've done a really good job of undrafted and street free agents to really find guys that fit what they do. So Skyler was taking all the second team reps today. Let's see. Why didn't Skyler go higher in the draft? He's wrong. Because the accuracy, John, he's raw. He's raw as hell, but the ability is there. But there's a lot of guys like that, John. That's normal in this business, that you run into these guys that are incredibly talented, but they can't find a way to put it all together. I remember the Heat in their expansion years. They drafted a kid out of Memphis by the name of Sylvester Gray. And if you ever watched Sylvester Gray, you looked at him and you said, oh my God, look at the body on this kid. And then look at the athleticism. But it was super raw. And he just couldn't put it together and be a complete basketball player. He was only an athlete. Harold Miner had a little bit of that too, where he was a dunker and all that. But when he got to the league, you had to become more of a basketball player, a cerebral player, understand the game and all of that. And as much as they told you that he was a student of the game, no, he wasn't. That's a lie. And he just could never be that guy. I remember the Phillies had a guy by the name of Wes Chamberlain. Man, built like a skyscraper, and just, you looked at him and you said, wow, that guy's on the all-world team. And he just could not put it together. And that's kind of what happens sometimes. There are those guys that they look the part, they dress the part, athletically, they've got everything that you need, and they just cannot put it together. And it happens, man. It happens all the time. And it's a frustrating situation. It really is. And Skyler is one of many that has that kind of skill set. He lacks nothing to play in the NFL. Nothing. Not the arm, not the athleticism. He's not too short or anything like that. He has every physical tool you need. The question now is mentally, can he put it all together? And that's the unknown. And that's why he was probably undrafted. But kudos to them. Greer has the ability to find late round and UDFA talent is completely forgotten when the criticisms are voiced. I know. Always. It's always like that. Who's the best undrafted player in Finn's history? Holy shit. Undrafted player in Finn's history. Oronde Gadsden? Bernie Parmalee? I don't remember all the old guys from the 70s, if any of them that were great were undrafted. Man, that's a good question. It's a really good question. Undrafted. Wow. That's those are two that I came up with. Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah, you guys came up with it. It's over. It's over. Cam Wake. You're right. Cam Wake. That's it. That's a Ring of Honor guy. Yeah, that's it. It's over. Nice job. Thomas Jensen was the first one. Way to go, guys. Ricardo, Brandon, Flipper, Robert, Peter. Yeah. How can I forget? Yeah. Way to go. Cam Wake. Yep. That would be it right there. You have to go Cam Wake. It's not even close. I don't think we've ever had another player in the Dolphins as successful as Cam Wake that was undrafted. But Langer was drafted, right? Oh, no. Jim Langer is the guy? Wow. Jim Langer was undrafted, dude. He was undrafted by the Browns and cut, and then the Dolphins signed him. Jim Langer's a better player than Cam Wake was. And Manny Fernandez also? Undrafted free agent Manny Fernandez. I told you I don't know about all the old guys. I can't remember where all the old guys came from. So there we go. I thought it would be Cam Wake for sure. My God. Yes. Right there. Jim Langer is like the second best center in the history of the Miami Dolphins. It's like Dwight Stevenson and then Jim Langer. Yeah, no, and Jim Langer was better at his position than Cam Wake at his. So I would go for that. And some people will argue that Manny Fernandez was a better player than Cam Wake. So, yeah, that's wow. Well, actually, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wasn't Cam drafted by the Giants and then cut? Oh, okay, he was undrafted by the Giants. Okay, all right. So he was undrafted. Okay. Yeah, so he was undrafted. Okay. So, yeah. Larry Little. But didn't I thought Larry Little was drafted from Bethune. No? I think, yeah, you're right. When we were at Larry Little's thing. All right. Okay. All right. So he was Larry Little, undrafted free agent in 67. So it's a long list when we start including the old guys. When you get the old guys, it's a long ass impressive list that's ahead of, Larry Little goes ahead of Cam Wake. Like, it's not even close. Damn. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. All right. So there you go. There you go. There's a shit ton of them that are undrafted, brother. And better than Cam Wake. That is nuts. Oh, man. I told you I didn't know the old guys. The old guys, it's just, that's too much information. That is way too much information. Nick Bonacani wasn't drafted by the Patriots. He played in another league. Yeah, he was in the AFL, I know, but Nick Bonacani was a great player already by the time the Dolphins signed him. It wasn't like, it wasn't like Cam Wake was a nobody until Miami got him because he had a good year in the CFL. He never played in the NFL, so it's different.
No, but also looking at results from like the older guys, I never would have thought Larry Little would have been undrafted.
Right.
It's like, what?
Hall of Famer?
It's crazy.
You're one of the best guards to play ever in
crazy
the history of the game. And Jim Langer, one of the best centers. So, yeah. Yeah. That was a great question. Almost stopped the show. It did stop the show. Yeah. We have a damn rich history, yes. But it's time to make new history. You know what I'm saying? As proud as this old man is of that history, as proud as I am to have lived a lot of that history, okay? And I covered a fun portion also of our history with the latter part of the Marino years and Taylor and Zach and all that. It's time to make new history, man. It's time. We can't live in the past. You know, I'm tired of living in the past. As much as I admire the 70s teams, I want to talk about new Dolphins teams accomplishing great things. It's time. Our fan base more than deserves it. The owner doesn't deserve it, but we deserve it. Okay? Because we're the ones that have been loyal. We're the ones that are here every year, no matter what, no matter how bad the owner is, no matter how bad the team has been, no matter what kind of an embarrassment they've put us through. We're always here, man. So, yeah, it's time to make new history. That's the one thing that I really, really want. Plus, as I've mentioned many times, meeting all of, not all, but I mean, meeting so many of you younger fans, and I admire the young fans so much because they have nothing to root for. They've never had anything to root for. And yet somehow or another, they're still putting on the orange and aqua every single year. And I find that to be really, really awesome. Because that's, at least I live the great moments. So I can hang in there and wait for the next great moments if they ever happen again, which I hope they do now. But those of you that, man, you're in your 30s or even early 40s, and you really don't even know what real good Dolphin football is. You've never seen it in your life. You've never experienced it. Yeah, it sucks. So that's really why we need to make new memories. We need to make new history. It's really, really, really important, man. Let's see. Kuchenberg was undrafted. He was also. There you go. They had like 12 rounds in those days. Yeah. Yeah, back then. Yeah. We had 12 rounds till I want to say. Let me see if I'm right. I'm going to say we had 12 rounds up until like 87, 86. And then it went down, I want to say. Tell me the history of the league there when it was. But I know that we cut it down after that drastically. Hell, I remember, I think J.B. Brown was like a 12th rounder or something like that. He was terrible. God. Something like that. Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm off by too much when it comes to the years. I think, at least. What else do we have? Can Miami keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster after they could? It's, yeah. I mean, it's a possibility. You could do it. If he plays too well, they may have to, John. Okay, because after you drafted him and then you develop him and he's got a potential, then yeah, you're going to have to do something. And then you wait till the trading deadline, and then you move Bridgewater for a pick. So you might be able to do something like that. If he plays well in the preseason, it'll be hard to stash him. That's for sure, because people will check him out and will see him. He's got an arm, man. Kid can move around. I love the pick as a what's that called, as a project in the 7th round. I think that's a really smart play, because in the 7th round you're normally going to get a player that rarely ever makes a team, let's just say. And if you can get a project that physically has the talents, but you just got to try to mold it, that's exactly what you want in that position. So there's a chance that they can keep all three, and they may have to if he plays a lot better. Leon Fresco with a little love on the super chat. He says, Tua, Hill, and Waddle sit in preseason and surprise Pats. Okay. Not show anything, Leon, is what you're saying? I like that. Imagine fandom with Joe Robbie, Don Shula, and Dan Marino as your organizational pillars. Amen. Who was worse, Jamar Fletcher or J.B. Brown? Yeah, that's a tight race right there. You couldn't find it?
So I put in when did the draft go to 7 rounds?
Right.
And it said 1936. But then in 1970, there were 17 rounds. So I guess maybe it was depending on the amount of players.
But when was the last year the NFL had 12 rounds? That's what you got to put. Because it went from 12 to 7. I'm pretty sure. And I don't know exactly what year, but I want to say it was somewhere in those 80s. Around 87, I want to say. Something like that. I'm going to say 86, 87, 88. I want to say it's somewhere in that neighborhood. It went to 7 rounds. Maybe even 90. But yeah. But I know that we had 12 up until somewhere in the 80s. Or Fletcher was bad because, like always, Dolphins try to try a zone corner into a man-on-man. Yeah, that was exactly the deal. He drafted a guy that could only play zone, and they ran a man-on-man system. I mean, that was just so classic. That was just one of those deals that you're like, really, dude? And that was the Drew Brees year, right? If I'm correct, they ended up with Drew Brees. My Lord. New Orleans gets the right pick. We get the Chargers got the right pick. We got the wrong pick. We end up with Jamar Fletcher when we should have picked Drew Brees. Yeah, I'm with you there. Zachary says it was in the early 90s. You could be right, Zachary. You could be right. I'm thinking late 80s to maybe even 90, but you might be right. I mean, it's a while ago, man. It's hard to remember all these little things, all these little points. What can I tell you? Do want to remind you about redrecover.com, man. They do a great job, whether you want to grow your hair back or if you're dealing with pain and discomfort, you've got an old injury. And listen, we showed you with the doc earlier this week, even scarring. So if you have an operation that's got a scar, and red light therapy, which, by the way, it's all natural. There's no medication. There are no side effects. It's beautiful, man. And it even helps heal scar tissue. So it'll help disappear that scar. And it's really amazing. So red light therapy is so good for so many things. Pain therapy, so you can use it before and after workouts. You'll feel a lot better. If you have old injuries or bone on your knee like Sean does, it's great therapy every day, 15 minutes a day. You're going to feel the difference. The blood flow will get going a lot more. And whether it's ankles, you got the kids running around all summer long, twisting them ankles up. You can use those wraps. They're all natural. You got an old injury, an operation. You're looking to grow your hair. Check it out. Go to redrecover.com. Watch the blogs, the video blogs. Read the other blogs that are there explaining everything about red light therapy. They've got also a tab there where you can contact them. And you can contact Ed and all the great people there. They will answer any and all of your questions. If you want to get one of the hats, if it's not right on the website, Go to contact us and send them an email and tell them that you want to get on the waiting list. Go to redrecover.com. Use our code Big O. Get 10% off at redrecover.com. Use our code Big O. 10% off at redrecover.com. All right. Practice done, I guess. There was nothing else. Well, at least it doesn't seem like there were any injuries or anything like that. Okay, let me see. All right, go ahead. What are you saying?
There's Cam Wolf is saying Bucks coach Todd Bowles said Tom Brady will be out until after next weekend's preseason game versus Titans. So 1.5 weeks off. Bowl also says his confidence is pretty high that Brady will start for the Bucks in week 1.
Of course it is. This is just to kind of keep all and put all that stuff at bay and stop people from asking those questions. He just wants to stay away from all that and not get anybody in trouble and all that.
And then Javon Hahn said he and Jerome Baker are sharing the green dot, making the calls on defense.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. One on the top, one on the bottom. Okay. I like that.
And then Gesicki had a good block, and he missed a block, and the Bucks linebacker easy to a sack. That must have been his practice was winding down at the end.
Okay. All right. Lisa says these boneheads on the NFL Network reviewing each team's schedule have Fins losing our first 4 games of the season. Whatever. They beat the Patriots twice last year, and Miami's going to be better this year. So whatever. And it doesn't look like the Patriots are better from last year. But, I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Then don't they play the Ravens in the first 4 games? The Dolphins. Yeah, they play the Ravens, right? Didn't they make Lamar Jackson with the zero cover blitz look silly? Is he like all of a sudden learning how to read defenses and throwing accurately now? I don't think that's changed. In fact, here's my early prediction on the Miami Dolphins torrid 4-game start of the season. Patriots, Ravens, Bills, and Bengals. They're going 3-1. Yeah. They're going to win 3 of those games. They're going to lose to the Bills. Okay? They're going to lose to the Bills in the first go-around, but they're going to win the other 3 games. They're better than the Patriots. They figured out the Ravens finally, and they're a better team now, so I expect them to win. And what was the other game? Oh, Cincinnati. They got X. You take the big wide receiver out, and then you try to work everything else. And it's a primetime game. That's right. Flash in the pan, those Bengals. Dolphins 3-1 to open up the regular season. Have some faith, brother and sisters out there. Don't listen to these clowns, these talking heads that all they want to do is stir stuff up. They're all talking crap about Tua, and now they're all starting to dial it back on Tua. You notice that? It's all good. Let them all worry, and they think it's the same old Dolphins, and it's not going to be the same old Dolphins. But, let's leave the facts out that they beat the Patriots twice last year. What the hell? Of course. Let's leave the facts out that they embarrassed the Ravens last year. I mean, of course. So, what are you going to do? Let them panic. Let the panicking Dolphin, let the NFL Network, ESPN, CBS, Fox, Talking Head, Let them create all this crap that they want about the Dolphins. When people find out that it's a better team with a much better coaching staff, a competent offense, and they're all going to find out that Tua can ball, then they're all going to shut up, and then they're all going to get on the bandwagon. And you know how they'll say, well, Tua's healthy now. Obviously, when I was saying this, he was unhealthy, and this, no. Yeah, right, sure, dude. Okay. Whatever helps you sleep at night. 0-4, 1-3, 2-2, 3-1 at the end of the 4 weeks. Okay? 3-1. That's what's going to end up happening. You will see. And you will all go, you said this early in the preseason. Now, by the way, the only caveat I would add to 3-1 is we need health at the end of the preseason. Guys got to be healthy, okay? I don't need a bunch of it. Now, if we get a bunch of injuries, that will change everything. Yes. Oh, Leon Fresco. He says Finn's D will be stronger if they have leads. Yes, sir. And I expect them to have leads. I expect them to have an offense. I expect them to have balance. So I am with you, Leon Fresco, and that's why the Dolphins will be 3-1 after the first month in the season. That's all. Huh?
And I'm not trying to be Homer, however you want to look at it, but look at this. After they play the Bengals, right?
Yes.
It's Jets, Vikings, Steelers, Lions, Bears,
all winnable.
Browns,
all winnable.
Texans.
Well, Browns are pretty good.
No, Browns.
Well, but Browns won't have the rapist.
But no,
okay,
so he comes back that game, right? That's the game he comes back.
No, he'll be gone for the whole year.
That's right. They're appealing.
The commissioner will get what he wants. He'll be gone for the whole year. So the rapist is not playing, so we'll beat him.
All right. So then you got Texans, 49ers.
And we have to beat the Texans because we got to improve our draft selection in the 6th round.
Same with the 49ers.
Yeah, that too.
Our first round pick that we get to keep.
Yeah, the one we get to keep. One. Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
And then it's Chargers, Bills, Packers.
Right, it picks up.
And then you get the Patriots, Jets to end the season.
That's it.
But there's a nice little stretch there that you could get some,
pump up that
everybody
schedule.
Stays healthy.
Pump it up, homeboy.
Could be a run there. There could be a run.
Yeah. Pump it up, homeboy. That's what it's all about, cut. Don't forget, folks, to download Miami's own liquor store. That's right. Those of you in downtown and Westchester, Miami Beach, Coral Gables, Coco Plum, The Roads, Little Havana, Wynwood, Omni, Fontainebleau, Allapattah, Edgewater, Hialeah, most parts of Hialeah, El Portal, Morningside. Download the app, iOS or Android, baby. You're going to love it. And use our code BIG015. Your first order, you're going to get 15% off. And it's a flat fee of $2.99, no hidden charges or anything like that. Flat fee of $2.99. Your favorite liquor is delivered to you. So you've got that special someone you're hanging out with. You want to keep the night going? Tap that app in more ways than one. But no, tap that app, get that wine back. You got the meeting going, the party going. You want the whiskey. You want a little more vodka. Keep the party going. You need a little more gin. Tap that app, Liquor Splits. Download it, iOS or Android, and use our code BIG015 to get 15% off your first order. Liquorsplit.com. All right. Dean Brown says, I will send you $100 super chat if they go 3-1 with Tua in the first 4. I think 1-3 with Tua. Of course you do, because you're Mr. Negative. And by the way, Dean Brown, not only are you Mr. Negative, you're Mr. Full of shit. Okay, because after they go 3-1, you won't send 100 and you'll disappear. Okay? No, don't take a picture. Dean's full of crap. Don't take a picture. He's full of crap. Don't even bother. Big O, I'm loving the progress of the O-line. Just everyone. Anything you can think that needs to be fixed still. My brother, You're not going to have a perfect team. You know what I'm saying? That happened in the 70s, and that's it. It just that every team has something that they've got to overcome. They just don't. Nobody goes out there and their team has no issues. You're going to have some kind of a weakness, something that you're not as strong, and you've got to overcome. There's a salary cap, and unless you drafted like 4 straight years where you didn't miss on a pick, and so you overloaded your team with all kinds of picks, which is near impossible, as you all know. That's like the only way it could happen, that you were so loaded, and it's so rare, my friend. You're going to have something that you're always going to be concerned about as any team. It just doesn't matter. So what I do like about Miami is that they're better than they were last year. Okay, I believe the defense will be better solely because the offense is going to be better, because it's pretty much the same players. But I am expecting Jalen Phillips to get better. I'm expecting Andrew Van Ginkel to have a breakout year. I'm expecting Javon Holland to be a stud. I'm expecting Brandon Jones to grow up. I'm expecting Christian Wilkins to continue to improve like he did last year. Seiler's another guy that just is a monster. So there's so much potential for the defense to get better just from within. And then if you give them an offense that can score and give them leads, they'll be even better, because front running, boy, they can go after your ass. And they can get after the quarterback in all kinds of ways. So this is where I'm at. I think this team is just going to be a better team. That's why I'm incredibly pumped up about what's going on. I just need health. And as I've been telling you over and over again, fix the line and fix the running game. And I'm not worried about Tua in the passing game. All of that will work out. He'll ball out, but he cannot ball out if he doesn't have a line in a running game. It's just, that's not going to happen. But I really like what's going on here, man. Tua laid a smackdown on the Bucs Super Bowl caliber defense today with 5 touchdowns. Let's see what else. Will Tua play an entire season for the first time in his NFL career? Yeah, I know. He's had this long career for like 15, 20 years, and he never plays a whole season. Yeah, I know. It's his whole career, man. Wow. It's been at this so long. He breaks down every single year, bro. It's been 10, 12, 13 years that the guy just continues to break. Yeah, you remember when we had a shot at the Super Bowl in 2009, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
And he got injured, right?
Yeah, Tua, always.
Damn Tua, bro.
Right when you need him, gone.
Bastard. 2001, we were on the brink.
Where were you, Tua? Where were you?
8-2 on a roll. Tua busts out, and that's it. Ambulance takes him out of the building. That's it. The season's over for us. That listener's so right. This long career of his, he's broken down so many times over and over again. It's just terrible.
I'm really getting tired of it.
I am too.
I'm over it.
I am too. 2001, 2006, 2009, 2012, 2016, 2018.
I mean, the elite line they had for him last year.
Yeah, exactly. Why are we keeping Tua around all of these years?
Makes no sense.
And yeah, exactly.
I feel like we've done this with somebody before.
I know.
And now we make the same mistake with Tua.
Exactly. I don't get it. We've kept Tua around for 20 years now, and we're not tired of him breaking down? Jesus Christ.
Man.
It's ridiculous. God. Leon says, I may have missed this, but what is Omar's status on your show? We don't know yet. We're in negotiations on all of that to try to figure that out. Big O, your sarcasm to these idiotic questions is both applauded and appreciated. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dougie Fresh at Dean Brown. You have the host of this show letting you know so that Michael Jackson says, make that change. Big O, oh, man, what kind of question was that? Come on, people. Can you get some common sense, please? Common sense is gone. sense is still here. It's just recreational, no, but it's medicinal. Big O, who do you think will have a better Dolphins or the U? The Dolphins. The Dolphins will have the better season. The U is not there yet. I got to give Mario another year or two to get to the point of like making a big ass impact. Okay. Big O, I heard a fight broke out at camp today. Like our toughness. I like our team, period, man. I think it's a good team. All right. Am I supposed? I got to take a break, right? Yeah. All right. Let's take a break. By the way, Alan Poupar and Marcel Louis Jacques are supposed to join us, but again, they're at camp. They're normally set for 11:30 and 12:30. Let's see what we can do. We should be getting them in this hour here, and we'll get them fresh off of camp and get their thoughts on what's going on in camp. All right. Let's take a quick break. Let's get ready for hour number 3 live from beautiful Hialeah Park.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at FLPDjobs.com. That's FLPDjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
What? Oh, look.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
From Hialeah Park, and the Miami Dolphins wrapped up their practices against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Travis Wingfield, by the way, says Austin Jackson says his confidence is at an all-time high and credits the coaching staff. He says that he's always had good work ethic, but he's learned this year how to be more deliberate with his work. Well, that kind of helps when you actually have real coaches. I don't know, man. I don't know, but somebody was saying from day one last year that it was about coaching and scheme and play calling and all kinds of stuff, right? I don't know who that was, but That might have been some dude out there. But anyway, Tua's, according to Omar Kelly, Tua's throwing 2 spots. Just watched a Bucs defender swear he was getting an interception right until Cedric Wilson runs to the spot and snatches it. Mike Gesicki, by the way, can't find a block, and Bucs linebacker gets an easy Tua sack. Says we have a chance to be really dangerous in the run game, Armstead said. Once we get to a place of comfort in landmarks and schemes, we'll be really dangerous. All right, what were you laughing about? Because I heard in the background there after I was reading some stuff.
I'm sorry. This got me because Joe Shad tweeted out something. Tyreek Hill to R. Hal Habib.
Okay.
If you pull up your shorts, you'll have some hoochie daddy shorts. I just know, how I got to meet him. I just got to meet him this year.
Right.
But now,
because you're hearing his voice saying
yes,
it in your head.
Yes,
I know
I'm
you're
hearing
doing
Tyreek saying it to him and him looking.
Right, and you're looking at
the
how
whole interaction.
Right,
yes,
and it's like
down.
2 polar opposite
my
human
goodness.
beings, right?
Never so opposite.
Right.
And then the fact that Joe is. I wonder if Joe would grade that an A. Joe might give that one an A.
He has to.
That is good.
Skyler was sacked, by the way, a couple times in this. He threw an interception, but Eazy-E knows it was an out-of-bounds defender's hands, by the way. That's what Omar put there. Tua just completed a pass to Alec Ingold, who was wearing a red jersey. That means don't touch me. Akeem Hicks blast him anyways, and red throws the flag, and I'm sure that's what started up the brouhaha that was going on there. So I'm just reading a couple of the excerpts from some of the guys following training camp and what's going on with the Dolphins and the Bucs. Again, the good thing about today, there were positives and there were negatives. You're not going to go in there where you're going to completely dominate. But from what we've heard in the past, where it was constantly all bad, that's the good thing. You saw some positives here. Hoochie daddy shorts. I love that.
And the fact that you're seeing the players like themselves, like you didn't get these quibs last year from players.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these guys, you're allowing them to
be themselves.
I mean, Tyreek even says one of the things, again, says he told Mike Gesicki he needs him to be his best friend because the tight end was in Kansas City.
By the way,
like just little things like that just shows how open and this team is. They're having fun, man.
Tyreek, by the way, announces he's opened up a football gloves athletic apparel pop-up store in Aventura Mall. It'll be open for the next month. How about that? Tyreek Hill and Anton Winfield. No hard feelings. Tyreek Hill on Tua's consistency. He says he's bringing a little bit more swag to the game. Hill would like to play in preseason with Tua, but notes that that's above his pay grade. Yeah, no, I don't want Tyreek. I don't want you playing in the preseason. I don't need to see you in the preseason. I watched you already in practice. No one can stay with you. It's impossible. No wonder you tore it up in Kansas City. It's not just that Pat Mahomes is a great quarterback. You are a great, great player, man, because you are a freak of all freaks. I got to say. Tyreek says we had our ups and downs. I feel like we can be better mentally wise. A few false starts for the receiver room, but that can be corrected. Xavier Howard told Tyreek Hill going into today's practice, that he was going to kick Julio Jones's ass today after giving something up in day one. Tyreek and X have next level competitiveness. I wonder if I didn't see a lot of Noah got burned stuff. I'm sure he had to have struggled some, but was it as bad as yesterday? Yeah, it wasn't as noticeable because I'm not seeing a lot of complaints of Noah. There was one early, right?
But also, again, yesterday he was getting beat by Julio Jones with Tom Brady throwing the ball.
No, I get it.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like today's
Yeah.
a little bit different when you have
no Tom Brady,
Kyle Trask and whoever else,
Blaine
Gabbert out there.
Right, yeah.
A little bit different, but at least, again, when he's in there with those guys, at least he's grasping something. He's not getting beat by those guys,
Right.
or at least it's not looking as bad.
I'm with you. Jesse M says, Big O, how would have Ross and Beal fared at Woodstock 99? You watched it, huh? Huh? How many of you have watched it now since I told you about it? That was, you haven't watched it yet? Oh, that's right. That's right. You told me you watched it twice. That's right. It's freaking amazing. That's right. They would have not have survived. I don't know if I would have survived. I got to tell you, I don't really know if I would have survived that place. That was bad, man. That was really, really disgusting. Who found all those UDFAs? Young Bobby Beathard. Bobby Beathard and Young, right? Also, right? Shula had Beathard and he had Young before he went to the Giants to build all those teams. I want to say those two were the personnel people under Shula. That's where to me, that's, and I don't want to get back to, talking about the history of the Dolphins and all that, but I think that's what really hurt Shula in the latter part of his career was that he did not have Young or Beathard back there with him, and that really caused an issue for him because there were a lot of personnel gaffes, just a lot of mistakes. And then for Shula, the bad thing was the salary cap came in, and that was a new monster to deal with, and that's something that he never had to deal with before, and that became a problem. And not only that, he created a big problem for Jimmy when Jimmy took over. The two things that Jimmy did was build the defense and clean out the cap. And that's one thing that he did to kind of, rectify and straighten out a little bit the Dolphins. He never got them to the point that he wanted them to be special, that kind of crap. But I am impressed with the way he was able to build the defense and at least clear out all that cap mess. But yes, not having Young and not having Beathard, part of his personnel department, I think is what screwed up. And that's the Robin Senline and Hugh Green and, I don't know, all the Eric Green signing, the Lorenzo Hampton, we could just go on and talk about all the, crap that went on. There was just a lot of Kumaro and all that. There was just a lot of bad draft picks, a lot of bad personnel decisions that set this team back. And I think that's what hurt Shula in those days. No Young, no Beathard. They went on to other places and helped those places win and even championships. So, yeah. Not good. Not good. I know I lost a bunch of the young people that have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Let's see. Mike Who says, Tua continuing to take sacks throughout camp more than what we should be comfortable with. What would rather, Big O, a career backup center or a guard covering to center? He's not taking a ton of sacks, bro. I'm not sure what you're paying attention to. I've been at practice. He had one today. Yeah. Well, Gesicki missed a block. I mean, yeah. He's not taking a bunch of sacks, dude. This isn't Ryan Tannehill, my brother. That statement on your part, Mike, who makes zero sense. Just so you'll know. Now, he's not taking sacks. If anything, he'll get rid of the football. But yeah, he'll hang on and try and make a play because that's always been his MO. But it's not because he's not taking a bunch of sacks because of that. So I disagree with you on that. He's had a good camp, actually. He's played way better than most of you doubters and haters ever thought he would. Okay? That's the way I would look at it. Yes.
And also, the one thing that when was it Omar or Joe said he's throwing to spots?
Yeah.
That tells me he feels comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Has confidence in his offense and has a grasp of what this offense is about.
Yeah. That's why he won't play on Saturday, because he's practicing well and there's no need to put them out there and put them at risk, especially when you know they're going to be resting a whole bunch of guys, and you're just going to get overzealous backups, you know? Nature B, baby, is the place for me. You know, I love my Nature B. I take it every single day. And my favorite part, I tell you all the time, it boosts your immune system. I swear by this. I take it every single day, those 2 golden capsules, because you got to fight the big nasties. And in today's virus-filled world, more than ever, you need that kind of protection. For some folks, it's a great boost of energy. I know this. For you ladies out there, stronger nails, smoother skin, fuller hair, which I kind of like that myself. It supports your immune system. It supports great health. Go to naturebee.com, folks. Go to the website, and you buy 2 months, you're going to get the 3rd month for free. And if you use our code, you're going to get free shipping and the free month. So buy 2 months, you get the 3rd month for free and free shipping. Use the code Big O. Go to naturebee.com. Use the code Big O and feel the power of pollen. Remember, it's all natural, grown in clean green New Zealand, and it's great for everybody. All right, adults and kids. All right, my daughter's been taking it forever. naturebee.com. Check it out. If anything, Tua has handled being the most pressured QB better than any other quarterback last year. Amen to that. He was the least sacked quarterback behind the worst line. This guy said he takes too many sacks. I just thought about that. Hey, Mike, so you say he takes too many sacks. So the guy that was one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL behind the worst line takes too many sacks. Let me repeat that over again, Mike. The guy that had either the least amount of sacks or the second, I don't know what it was. I think he was the least sacked quarterback in the NFL or second, okay? With the worst line and no running game, he takes too many sacks. Just want you to think about that one, Mike. I'm expecting an apology. I'm expecting, yeah, you know what, dude? Yeah, I'm really a half-asser. I'm not really paying attention. I just said something that I shouldn't have said, and it made no sense whatsoever. Ryan Tannehill, by the way, the most sacked quarterback with 2 running backs and an offensive line. Mike, last year. Okay? Let me repeat it again since you might need that. Ryan Tannehill, the most sacked quarterback in the NFL with 2 legitimate running backs and an offensive line. Okay. He says, no, that's not what I'm saying. I was flaming the line, not the QB. That's not what you said, bro. It's not what you said. Tua continuing to take sacks throughout camp. More than what we should be comfortable with. You didn't say the line is allowing more sacks than we're comfortable with. You said Tua continuing to take sacks. That's like Tannehill. Tannehill takes sacks. Tua does not. I'm reading word for word, my brother. I ain't twisting jack. Big O, I believe Coach Flo and the 3 moving chair offensive coordinators was holding Tua back. It's clearly McDaniel tapping into Tua's potential. Of course. Tua's doing good in joint practices. Tua haters. Oh, that's just practice. Normal fan, good. Glad to see the progress. And Tua's pocket presence actually make the O-line look good at times. I know. Oh, man. Anthony Campos says, Big O, Nature B vitamins, Sports Grill wings, Edge energy drink for the win. Dolphins Sunday, WPM, the essential items. Yes, sir. And you always need the edge. You need the edge on the field, on the ice, on the pitch, right here in a radio show. You need the edge. I think the Dolphins have the edge now that they've got Mike McDaniel. They needed a real offensive coach. Looks like they got themselves a real offensive coach now. I like that. And by the way, you can order myedgedrink.com, the finest energy drink on the planet. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. And use our code BIG-O. You'll get 10% off. You can't get it in stores. You can't go to CVS, and you can't go to Grand Union. You can't go to Pantry Pride, and you can't go over to Piggly Wiggly. No. Can't Extra Supermarket. No, you can't do it. Rite Aid. No, you can't do it. No. Woolworths. No, it's not going to be there. No, it's not. No, you can only order it online. myedgedrink.com. Fantastic elixir, too. When you mix it up with rum or vodka, so good. But really, straight up, zero aftertaste. Delicious, smooth, zero aftertaste, and only 78 calories. So order it, myedgedrink.com, and get 10% off. You will love it. Big O, when are you getting Joe Shad back on? We are in negotiations, getting a new sponsor for Joe Shad. And if your company wants to sponsor Joe Shad's Miami Dolphins reports, reach out to us on our business line at 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. There you go. The world isn't free. Joey's getting rid of your hangovers. Oh, man. I love it. Make sure you're smashing that like button, by the way. Okay? Smash that like button. Let's see. I'm going to reach out to the guys and see if we got anything here and try to get something. I know we might be able to get Poupar around 12:45, he told me. I reached out to Marcel to see and send Marcel also a text or see if he can come on now and give us his thoughts on what he saw today. So we will see. Tua's looked good overall, Alex. You know, throughout camp and throughout so far these first practices, and compared to what we've seen the last couple of years that we always heard like bad stuff constantly, we're hearing a lot more positive things right now about Dolphin practice, which is a beautiful thing, man. There's progress. And listen, if you went to practice, you'll see that the offense looks better. In the end, we got to get to the regular season and we'll really find out. You don't really get a perfect feel for things in today's practices. What's it called? All right, I see what he's got to push a little back. All right, for Marcel. Yeah, I saw that. I saw he's got to try to push it back a little bit more. Okay. All right. So we will get Marcel around 1:15, he says. Something like that. And recheck with Poupar about 12:45 because he said he would be ready around 12:45. We will find out. Let's see, what else do we have here? When sports and business collide, folks, we love to do something called the KSDT Sports Business Report. Yes. It's a beautiful thing, baby, when we talk about the NFL, because the NFL, man, the NFL is growing, and they don't stop. And when you talk about football, you get to watch some football on Monday nights. You get to watch some football on Thursday nights. Now you're watching football on Christmas Day. When the college football season ends, they throw you a couple Saturday games, and then, of course, you got your regular Sunday games. Well, the NFL is reportedly looking to expand its domination of the Thanksgiving weekend. The league will add a Black Friday game, most likely in 2023, according to Sports Business Journal. The league may wait until 2024 for the first edition of the game, but all signs are pointing for the 23 kickoff. Amazon, who obtained the exclusive rights to Thursday Night Football on May 2021, will stream the game. In April, NBC Sports' Peter King reported the e-commerce and streaming giant had a bid between $70 million and $100 million to carry such a game. The final fee for the extra game would be paid in addition to the reported $1 billion annually the company will pay for its current NFL package. Thanksgiving has become synonymous with pro football over the years. Last season, the two holiday afternoon games averaged 35 million viewers, more than twice the regular season average. So now you will have your and I like this. Do you know why? Do you know why I like this? Because that last game, the tryptophan is always knocking me out. I'm missing out. That damn turkey in my body is knocking it out. So Friday, you wake up, and then what happens? You're going to watch a game and eat leftover turkey to have more tryptophan in your body to knock your ass out. Oh, man. If the NFL can add a game every day of the week, they would. This is why more than ever they should add a second bye week game. I mean, a second bye week, not game. A second bye week. It's so much for the players. It allows you to play with the scheduling, and you can schedule teams on shorter weeks because you can give them the breaks with those bye weeks, man. It's very important. But again, not surprised if the NFL can find a way to generate more revenue, they're going to do it. And that's a perfect example. Amazon to get a Black Friday game. That is your KSDT Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
I wonder if Bitcoin is going to hit 25,000 today, man. So it's moving. It is moving and a grooving, baby. That's for sure, man. Perdomo Cigars, by the way, proud sponsor of our program. We love talking about Perdomo Cigars. I've been smoking Perdomo Cigars for a long, long, long time. And if you haven't been to their offices and their warehouse, it's in Miami Gardens at 5150 Northwest 167th Street. If you drive by it in the Palmetto, and for those of you that are, Dolphins, and you're coming to town, if you come, on a Friday or a Thursday, you're before the game and you're here for a couple days, go by those warehouses at 5150 Northwest 167th Street. Impressive. They keep millions of cigars there, or millions of dollars in cigars there, but also they've got this giant, beautiful humidor where you can purchase any type of Perdomo cigar that you love, man. Whether it's the 12-year double-age vintage, the 20th anniversary, the Estate Selección vintage, the 10th anniversary, by the way, it was a cigar of the year for Cigar Journal. Whether we're talking about the Champagne 10th anniversary, the Habano, the Perdomo Lot 23, there are so many amazing cigars. That's why I want you to go check it out for yourself. And then they've got these ginormous, beautiful couch. I swear this couch is like 30-foot long. It's a 30-foot long horseshoe. A lot of people can sit down and relax and kick back, and they got a big old TV, and Nick Perdomo is there all the time. You got to check out his office. It's got all kinds of rock equipment and drums and all kinds of stuff, and then jerseys all over the place. Really cool. And Nick is a great guy. You can meet him, take a picture with him. Go check it out, 5150 Northwest 167th Street. And if you want to enjoy a great cigar that is constructed so well And the flavor is consistent from beginning to end, and the pull is just absolutely smooth. You reach for a Perdomo cigar, go to perdomocigars.com or go to your nearest cigar store and ask for it by name. All right. Anyway, so what else do we have? Hopefully I'm dead wrong and the line is good. You can't blame me for having doubts about the one wrinkle in our. You mentioned the quarterback, my brother. Don't mention Tua anymore. Tua has nothing to do with taking sacks that much. That has to do with the offensive line. It has nothing to do with Tua. That was your problem. You phrased it the wrong way. Just take the L and say, well, I meant this. It was my mistake. I didn't mean Tua. I meant the line. That's all. That's how you got to end it. Not try to, oh, no, don't misconstrue. No, I'm not. I know English. I can read English. You're wrong. Just admit it. That's all. Flo handing out stickers to his linebackers in Pittsburgh who walked to the field in a single file line silently. Thank God for McDaniel. Tua had time before taking those coverage sacks both days against a really good Tampa defense, completely different from the Bears dominating practice last season. Tyreek would have had more yards and touchdowns today. All of those two-handed touch tackles would not have brought him down in a real game. So when you treat your QB like a normal human being, he does better. Imagine that. No, perfect Q. It's Nick Saban was a hard ass. Tua talks about how his dad's a hard ass, even harder than Nick. It's not about being a hard ass. It's about competence. And he didn't have that around with Flo. He didn't have a good offensive coordinator. He didn't have a real quarterback's coach. He didn't have a real offensive line. He didn't have an offensive line coach. He had no power to pick up personnel for offense. He just did not know the coaches. And clearly people did not want to work for him. And when Changeli leaves running out the building, I'm sure a veteran coach must have called Chan and said, hey, so what's going on over there? And it's really all about people skills and talent. And Flo just could not get along with human beings, so he could not form a staff around himself. And then the staff with a bad staff, Tua screwed. Flo could be a jerk, and Tua would have a lot of success. Tua did win more than he lost. He did still throw more touchdowns than he threw interceptions, even under the worst conditions of Flo. But it's really not about Flo not liking him. It was really more about Flo, even though that was a problem too. But really the real problem is Flo can't build a staff. And if you can't build a staff, then how in the hell are you ever going to have an offense? And it would have been the same problem over and over and over again, because that's what you were doing year in and year out with this guy. And remember, as I told you before, we were talking about it on the show, certain coaches want to micromanage over the job that they gave you. And how many of you have had that boss over you? You're like, well, wait a minute, dude, why'd you hire me? You might not be telling him to his or her face that, but deep down inside, you're going like, why is this person always going over my work and checking it or fixing it or doing whatever the hell they want? Why'd you hire me? And that's the problem. So it's not so much about how you treat me, because I don't think Saban is going to treat you perfectly all the time. I think he's going to rip into you plenty of times. Hell, I remember him screaming at Tua. But Saban had a staff. Saban knows how to coach. Saban knows how to put players in position to be successful. That's where he has the entitlement that he can scream at your ass because he knows what he's doing. But meanwhile, Flo doesn't know what he's doing because he can't build a staff. So that really was the problem in the end. More than anything else, he could not build an offensive staff. And that's where he failed Tua and everybody else on that team. So I would never really lay it in that direction about it just being a bad personality. Sure, he had a bad personality, but it was more about professionally, he was just terrible at building a staff. All right, give us 2 minutes. Alan Poupart will join us to talk a little Miami Dolphins and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupart.
And there he is, fresh from practice, ready to talk a little Dolphins football. Oh, wait a minute. He's got a cigar in his face there. Yeah. There you go. You were looking pretty good there. Now, not so good. But, you're looking better with a cigar in front of you. That was actually a strong look on your part. So how you doing, man? You doing all right?
Doing good. Actually, I don't know about fresh off practice because tough to stay fresh in that heat and humidity. It was much better today than it was yesterday with the sun beating down. Today was it was very humid, but it was overcast, so they made it a lot more tolerable. But it was good work by the Dolphins for a second consecutive day. The big story out here, obviously, is Tom Brady not being there, but that doesn't change what the Dolphins did. More so on the offensive side of the ball than on the defensive side of the ball because Blaine Gabbert, no offense, ain't no Tom Brady.
No, yeah. And how about Trask? I mean, he's a world beater.
and Ryan Griffin, our other quarterback. I mean, that is...
All right. So Sunday, he had a clean day. Then Wednesday, he had a clean day, apparently. But today, Connor Williams struggled some. Talk to me a little bit about the snapping and the issues, because I was hoping he can string together several clean days, because that's the one area he can't. You're going to miss blocks. You're going to get manhandled by somebody. Somebody's going to beat you, but you can't make the wrong calls on the line, and you got to snap the ball every single time perfectly. There can't be a mistake there. Walk me through it. Are we getting to the point where we're pretty close at panicking?
I don't know. There was one today that I noticed. I think there were two that weren't perfect. There was one that forced Tua to kind of it wasn't even a jump. It was like a little stretch over his head. It wasn't completely egregious. It wasn't like the bad ones he had earlier on. So I don't know. I don't know that we're much more to the point of panic than we were before. Let's see what happens in the game Saturday, because I certainly would expect him to play.
Yes.
Unlike some others.
And Armstead's the only one that shouldn't play. right?
Correct. And I asked Armstead, as a matter of fact, today after practice, what his history was recently in preseason games, and he basically said he couldn't remember the last time he played. And to me, it would be borderline negligence for him to be out there. And the way Mike McDaniel was saying it also kind of sounds like Tua's probably not playing either.
Well, I think that comes from you've practiced well. Now you've scrimmaged well. Yeah, let me not put you at risk. We're good with you doing right. I would imagine that that's what it is, that they've been satisfied overall with the practices. And that's the beauty of these scrimmages. Because, Alan, they get more out of these scrimmages probably than they do in a damn preseason game.
No, and it's also more reps than you would get in a preseason game. I mean, let's say.
Great point.
Like yesterday, I charted him at 14 for 19 passing. That doesn't include the running play. So let's say he got 30 snaps. He plays 2 series in the preseason games. That may be 20 snaps if he has 2 long drives. It could be as little as few as 6 snaps if it's 2, 3 and out. So, yeah, there's that much work, and he has run the offense very efficiently. So, yeah, there's no reason to have him out there. There really isn't. And Tyreek Hill, I asked Tyreek the same question about his recent history of preseason games, and he said, yes, he's played. And to me, there's no need for him to be out there. There really isn't.
No. I wouldn't play him and Waddle. I'd play all the young guys. Anyways, that's good. You want to play all these young guys because you've got to figure them out. Dude, is Austin Jackson holding his own, can we say?
He's holding his own. Yeah, we can say that. There's
like, I don't hear you guys writing about, oh my God, he got beat terrible. And he was like the last 2 years when you guys would go out to he's practice. My God, the reports were horrible. They're not sounding that bad now. They're like, I guess they're doing all right. You tell me.
No, there's clear improvements. And at this point, I say he certainly looks like a serviceable right tackle. Obviously, you hope for more.
That's monster.
Not there yet.
That's monster progress right there. Just being serviceable from where he was at. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Correct. Yeah. And because then here's the thing, because if we're going to be honest, if we're looking at the other 2021 first round pick, Noah's taken some major steps back. He got exposed in these joint practices, and right now he does not look like a serviceable cornerback. So that's concerning, and there's reason for optimism in the case of Austin Jackson. I'll give you one tidbit though, and even though it needs to be taken for what it's worth, and this is going to be part of when I'm done with you, I'm going to go do my practice observations, and it's going to be included in it. Like they did the one-on-one pass blocking drills, pass rusher versus offensive lineman right in front of us. And the guy who like completely jumped out as having like a really, really great rep. He had like three winning reps was Larnell Coleman, which really was eye-catching to me.
Wow. I carry around. I carry this around with me everywhere I go. And the inside of here is a nitrogen pill. And the nitrogen pill is just in case I have a heart attack. It has to be in the dark constantly. And then I got to unscrew it and, put it under my tongue. God forbid I hope I never have one. But when you have 5 stents in your heart, these are the things that you got to live with now. And so I swear you, if I would have seen Larnell Coleman win 3 straight times I just want you to know this. And Sean, by the way, this is my nitrogen. Make sure you reach for this and so you can save my life, because that right there, I would have had a heart attack. Larnell Coleman has been so bad. You tell me, hey, I got to tell, I've been saying this from last year. It's been all coaching. If Larnell Coleman it is all coaching, bro. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's not all coaching. He's also a year removed. Let's not forget he's a year removed from arriving as a rookie who played at UMass, who probably never saw any kind of pass rusher anywhere near what he saw in his first training camp last year. And he just looked out of his league, overmatched.
Yeah.
And even in camp this year, again, he hasn't looked overmatched.
Wow, coaching.
That was impressive. Mind you, it wasn't like Shaq Barrett or Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. He was standing up, but regardless,
Still doesn't matter.
It was very impressive.
Doesn't matter.
Correct. It was
Doesn't matter.
impressive.
Yeah, because they've coached him up because he looked completely lost. Like he, when you look at Skylar Thompson, and I've loved him from day one. Why? Because his talent looks like he belongs in the NFL. It's just he's so green, you don't even know if he'll be able to, fine tune it to play at this level. But the ability is there. With Larnell Coleman last year, he never looked like an NFL player. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
That's the difference there. With Skylar, you can deal with the mistakes because there are the wow moments. And by the way, he continues to do the wow moments, doesn't he?
He had a great practice. He had a couple of throws that were like, damn, nice.
You know they're developing a problem now. That's a problem. They're going to be forced to keep him on the regular roster. If he continues to play well in a quarterback-starved league, somebody will sign him to their squad, to their regular season roster, to their regular roster, and they'll take him from Miami. There's no doubt in my mind. If he continues to play well, is what I'm saying. You don't think
correct.
so?
If he lights it up in preseason, then yeah, absolutely. But let's say if he has an uneven preseason, which is what you'd expect from a rookie 7th round pick, then to me it'd be. I understand it's a QB starved league, but he's going to be a rookie 7th round pick wherever he goes, and I don't think if the Dolphins decide we can't carry 3 QBs, that same conversation is going on around the rest of the league. So,
but Nagi, you're Seattle, you're Carolina, you're some of these teams that aren't really strong at the quarterback position, and you're like, hey man, because the thing about that kid is he has wow moments, and there are throws that you're like, whoa, that's a big league throw, bro, and that's why I think, and if that kind of film gets around, and he shows a little, somebody's going to steal him because there's always that coach that says, hey, I can get more out of that guy. Hey, we need a guy like that here just in case. We don't really trust the guy we have, that kind of stuff. So I can see somebody doing, like, if he continues to play well. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's fair.
And by the way, how about this? If he continues to play well to a certain extent, that you have to keep him on the roster, you then, by trading deadline, you might be moving Teddy Bridgewater for a draft pick.
Well, then you're putting yourself in the position of relying on a rookie 7th round pick. If something happens to Tua, and history has shown us that Tua probably more than likely is going to miss some game time.
Yep.
And there's their comfort level there with having Bridgewater as your backup, that even though he's not a high level NFL starter,
he struggled a little. He struggled a little today, right? He struggled a little today. He struggled a little today, didn't he?
He didn't get team drill reps. It was all Tua and Skylar. So I don't know how anybody can say.
Was it yesterday? Oh, yesterday was the day he
yes.
threw. Yeah, he didn't throw yesterday well.
So
yeah,
I don't know if today that was the plan to get Skylar a ton of reps in team drills, or there's minor issue. Remember, there was a day at practice where Bridgewater had some minor issue, which is why they gave Skylar all of the team reps that Tua wasn't taking. So I don't know what the status is today.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right. Eichenberg, anything else stand out for you in practice?
Tyreek is fast. Sorry for stating the obvious.
But no, but on the all, just to kind of finish on the O line, anything from Eichenberg, Hunt? I'm not worried about Armstead. We talked about Connor. How about the other two guys?
No,
and apparently Robert Jones had a good practice too. Is that true?
He was great in the one-on-ones also. I did not notice anything. I know there was a touchdown pass at one point in team drills, and there was a flag on the play. Never saw the official make the signal based on where it was located at to be an offensive holding. I don't know. I couldn't see who it was on. There were some plays where there was some movement there. There were a decent number of sacks allowed again, though. Like was it yesterday? I think I counted like maybe 7 sacks against. And again, understand that in team drills, the second somebody gets close to the quarterback, that guy up, and a lot of times they continue with the play. The quarterback's going to go through and throw a pass, and then you'll see some fans go nuts with wow, look at that pass. Well, had this been a game, the play was over 5 seconds ago. So, so that's why I always put that caveat there. No, it was, I will tell you this. This is to me like the barometer. Like I always reflect on past joint practices.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we have to count for the fact that Brady wasn't there, but the Dolphins to me absolutely held their own against the Bucs if they didn't look like the better team.
Well, yesterday apparently the defense won a lot against Brady, correct?
It also lost. I mean, that was overblown. I mean,
but that's good.
No, correct.
I can't expect to dominate, but dude, they wouldn't have won against Brady at all the last couple of years. I mean, it's just
no, correct.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraged by that. Like, for example, if I go back, I'm going to go back like 5 years ago. It was like drastic and eye-catching how much they were overmatched when they had joint practices against the Eagles.
Yeah.
And you remember in 2017, the Dolphins were coming off a playoff season.
Yeah.
And they looked overmatched, and it turned out the Eagles, who were really, really good on both lines of scrimmage, wound up going and winning the Super Bowl, and the Dolphins flopped and winning in a year where they wound up with
a couple of years ago. You guys were at a Falcons practice, I think, and that
was last year.
And they embarrassed Miami too in the Falcons practice, right? And the Falcons weren't that good.
See, I don't recall that. I remember the Dolphins.
If I remember correctly, it wasn't good reports coming out of the Falcons practices from you guys.
For some reason, I don't remember. I remember the Bears last year. The Dolphins like holding their own against the Bears, but not. It was fair. It being fairly even. I don't remember. For some reason, I remember the Atlanta practices. Either team dominating.
I don't know why I remember you guys talking that the offense was just absolutely terrible against the Falcons last year. I mean, I really, you can't expect that offense to be that good as it is. All right, young receivers. I'm not worried about Waddle and Tyreek. I know those guys are going to be studs. What else happened outside of those two guys?
River Craycraft keeps making plays, and to me, he's moving, becoming more and more the solid number 6 if they keep 6. I don't think you can crop the top 5 because to me, that top 5 is completely locked in.
Yep.
But he had a catch today in the end zone. It was also a great throw by Tua, the back of the end zone. Waddle had a nice catch, absorbing contact at the goal line. But Craycraft made a couple of catches. He had a really nice catch yesterday, and dude makes plays on special teams. Did not notice Lynn Bowden one time in either of the 2 practices. I think Preston might have had one catch yesterday. He also had a target where the DB undercut him to make a pick against Teddy, which also happened in practice in Miami. And it's either a coincidence that both times the DB undercut the route, or he's not running a precise route and making it sharp enough and, sealing the defender and preventing him from undercutting it. So, yeah, River Craycraft's the guy among the young receiver. Didn't notice Braylon Sandwards or Izukama very much today. Sherfield had a couple of catches. But, yeah, Craycraft's the guy who's standing out right now among the young receivers.
All right, secondary, another rough day, I would imagine, for Noah.
Yeah, it was rough. Trill Williams had a nice pick in the end zone.
Oh, good.
Brandon Jones getting physical with the Tampa Bay guys. It looked yesterday in the 2-minute drill that they were start getting into it because Brandon kept giving a little extra pop at the end of every play. And today it was Duke Riley who was getting under their skin. He was involved in 2 little, one just like yapping back and forth, and the other one broke out a little scuffle, and a whole bunch of players gathered, but didn't look like any punches were thrown.
Okay. Anybody else on the secondary stand out, safety-wise, anything else?
No, but having said that, my eyes were a lot more focused on the Dolphin offense, and even though I was standing between 2 fields and trying to catch as many plays on both sides as possible, A lot of times the snaps are at the same time, and I can only look in one direction.
My bad. You did the right. You did the right thing. I'm now thinking like you. There's no Brady. Why am I going to go check the defense out? They're not really being tested. Let me focus on the offense that's really going to be tested more than the defense is. So I totally understand what you were doing. It makes a lot of sense. Without Brady there, it's just not the same. You know what I mean? We're talking about Keon Crossan making a great play, but you made it against Blaine Gabbert. And so that's kind of what kind of takes away from the whole thing. I totally understand that. When we so let's go back to the offense. Talk to me about the tight
One second.
ends.
Quick point. It's not only no Brady. Today was no Justin Gage, no Mike Evans, no Brashad Perryman, no Julio Jones. So
yeah, right, exactly. All right, so Omar, who kills Mike Gesicki on the non-blocking, which we all know he's really not a blocker, but it's like something that eats him up alive, that you can't have a tight end that doesn't block, which is crazy because lots of teams have tight ends that don't block as long as they're great pass catchers. You know, I always tell Omar, I go, Omar, this has been going on for years. Keith Jackson didn't want to block. Hell, he didn't even want to practice. But on Sunday, he was balling left and right, catching everything in sight. So that's all that matters, my man. But they were actually writing about Gesicki blocking. So talk to me. Did you see the same thing? Did you see Gesicki having some success as a blocker?
I didn't notice. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't really looking for it.
Okay.
Because, again, without the benefit, if I'm like watching a game replay, I can allow myself to see the same play 3 times. And then one of those times, I'll focus strictly on Gesicki and see what he did. If I'm trying to chart practice, if I focus strictly on Gesicki and his blocking, then I'm missing what happens with you. I try to look at overall and see as many things as I can, but I'll be honest with you, I'd be lying if I told you I noticed anything one way or the other. I did notice he dropped a pass in the end zone.
Okay. All right. I mean, that I don't even get concerned with that because that's catching is not a problem for him. I'm not worried about that. He can have a bad and when you're not using him a lot, that kind of puts you to a little bit of a test there to kind of keep your focus a little bit there. How do you see this whole tight end situation breaking down? Because you're not really seeing a lot of the offensive side of it. And I wonder if they're trying to hide it or they're really purposely wanting them to focus on the blocking.
No, I think, look, if you go by starts, the guy who had the most starts the last couple of years wasn't Gesicki, it was Durham Smythe. And Gesicki ended up with the most snaps on offense, but it wasn't by a large margin. My expectation is that's going to change this year, and it's going to be Smythe who's going to have the most snaps on offense among the tight ends. And I see Gesicki as a guy who's going to be a specialist. You're going to see him red zone, third down, where they'll take full advantage of his pass catching ability. And I think Hunter Long is going to get sprinkled in there as well. I could see either Smythe or Seaton Carter also at times maybe being used as a fullback if for some reason Alec Ingold either is injured or needs a breather or something to that effect. So that's my vision for the usage of the tight ends.
By the way, the trade was a smart one, right? You move Shaheen, you move up around, you clear up cap space. You had a cluttered room at that spot. You were going to have to let him go probably. And you got a Houston pick, which should be a bad pick, which should be a higher 6-rounder than the one that you would have had. So it's actually, overall, I thought it was a pretty decent trade for them. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, no question, because, again, the overriding factor here is, like you said, I would have been shocked if they kept 5 tight ends again this year. Right. And to me, Shaheen was number 5 of the 5 guys. So he wasn't making the team. You got something for him, and you got rid of his cap space. So, yeah.
And I think it shows you also a little view of what's coming. For those of us that keep thinking that the back end of the wide receiver spot, you're not going to have to be a two-way player. Well, that's what Seaton is, bro. He's a two-way player. That's what Smythe is. He's a two-way player. They help you out on special teams. And when we start looking at Preston and Mohamed Sanu and all these other guys that you have on the back end, they're not two-way players like Sherfield is, like the other guy that you just talked about, Craycraft. And this is what's going to hurt, Lynn Bowden Jr. and all these other guys, that they're not factors on special teams. And those two guys are impactful players for them on special teams.
No question. And if you're going to be somebody who's going to make the team without playing special teams, you have to be, I don't want to use the word special because that's too much, but you have to be a factor,
right?
Your side of the ball. And part of it is because he hasn't really been featured or targeted or whatever, but Lynn Bowden's been practically invisible in camp.
Yeah.
Where I know some of us were like looking, where we're intrigued by the possibilities with him. And
I had some fans that thought he could be Deebo Samuel. I was just like, yeah, you're smoking way too much. Way too much.
Well, it's understandable.
Put the alcohol down, please.
Big O. It's understandable because of how he was used at Kentucky and everything he did, and also the open field things that he did as a rookie in 2020. But first of all, he's not the athlete Deebo is. He doesn't have the same body type as Deebo. He's not nearly as thick as Deebo to be able to do it. I mean, again, there's a reason there's not a whole lot of players around the league who do what Deebo does.
No, that's freakish what he does. Not very smart, but it's freakish. You're not going to have a long football life playing like that. All right, what are you working on over at alldolphins.com for Sports Illustrated?
Well, as mentioned before, I'm going to go inside right now and start compiling the complete, and I mean complete, practice notes and observations, and also a couple of stories with everything around it. Maybe attack. The idea of who's going to play and how much in the preseason opener, because we no longer get Mike McDaniel, so we will not get any definitive answers on that until about an hour and a half before game time on Saturday.
Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL, and of course you can catch him twice a week here doing his thing with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report. Alan, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you immensely. Be safe out there in Tampa. Enjoy the
got it.
Take it easy. There you go, the great Alan Poupart. Give us 2 minutes here. Marcel Louis-Jacques is next.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th, and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Give your dog the same therapy that many veterinarians use today, but at a fraction of the cost. Pads are available in 3 sizes and come with attachment straps, clips, and an easy-to-use manual. Red Recover can help your dog with arthritic conditions, muscle soreness, intervertebral disc disease, ACL rehabilitation, performance, aging, and general health and happiness. You simply place the pad over the desired area and allow our proprietary Tri-Lite therapeutic wrap to penetrate deep into the tissue, where a number of healing parameters will be stimulated. When starting treatment, apply for 10 to 15 minutes daily and lessen the application time as needed for best results. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
We're back. Final hour of the program. We're waiting for Marcel Louis Jacques to be joining us. By the way, Robert, thank you. Miami Bala sending us some love on the Cash App. Very nice. He says for Big O support, 3-1, no doubt. Robert from Denver. Thank you, Robert. Very nice of you, my man, for giving us some love on the super chat, man. That is very, very cool of you. Thank you so much. And also on Venmo, Rick Love giving us love. He says, Big O, love the show, admire your work ethic, appreciate you. Thank you, Rick Love, appreciate you. And of course, you can make the donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. You can also donate Bitcoin there at Cash App too. So if you want to make whatever donation you're going to make it in Bitcoin, not a problem. We love it. Does Joe Shad still do the Big O Show? We're working on it. We're working on it. But if your company, Joe, wants to be a sponsor of the Joe Shad Reports, Joe can sponsor Joe Shad's Reports. So we are waiting. We are working on a new sponsor for Joe Shad. Okay? So I'm brutally honest with everybody on all of this. It's all a business, man. None of this is free. Okay? None of this is free. We work hard, but we want everybody to work and everybody to earn a little money from all of this. So it's kind of part of the game. You know what I mean? So we'll work on it, but we're working on a new sponsor. But if your company wants to join our platform, call our business line 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. You want to be part of our Dolphins or Canes or Miami Heat coverage or Inter Miami coverage or Miami Marlins coverage or you name it, man. Florida Panthers coverage. Reach out to us, 786-754-4664. Let's get to Marcel Louis Jacques and our myedgedrink.com Miami Dolphins report.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel Louis Jacques.
There he is, locked and loaded and refreshed after a hot-ass practice. How you feeling?
Yeah, today,
you feeling good?
Today wasn't as bad as yesterday, man. I can tell you that. Yesterday was horrible, but had some nice cloud cover today and cooled down a lot, man. A little bit of wind chill too, coming off their pond in the back. Like they got a nice setup here in Tampa.
Okay. All right. Well, that's about the only thing they got. All right. Anyway, they do have Burns Steakhouse. All right. What else? Talk to me. Most impressive thing today in practice was what?
Dolphins offense, period. Full stop. Tua lit them up today. I think you're starting to see some reports float around on Twitter, and they are correct. Offense yesterday was unspectacular. You know, they took their chunk gains when they could, but it was a lot of dump offs, no shots downfield like we've been seeing in Miami Gardens. And that was kind of the same today, but I mean, Tua's accuracy was just on another level today. There were 3, maybe 4 times where I'm seeing a ball in flight and I'm thinking, oh, there's his first pick. Like here comes an interception, and he's got somebody crossing. He's got a receiver crossing. He's got a receiver streaking out of nowhere that plucks the ball out of midair. I mean, just perfect placement. And it wasn't just him either. It was Skylar Thompson as well, was highly accurate today, pushing the ball downfield. I think his processing speed or his processing is starting to speed up a little bit because the arm talent is apparent. It's apparent.
There's no doubt. He's blessed, bro. He has everything you need physically to be a quarterback in the NFL. It's all about this now. It's all about the reading, the reacting, the reflexes, all that stuff. He's got to polish it up, and it sounds like he's polishing it up right now. You know, I was telling Poupart this earlier. If he continues at this pace, it becomes a problem. Okay? It's a nice problem to have, but it's also going to force you to keep him on the regular roster because you may not be able to stash him if he continues to play well. Because the problem with that kid, it's not that he's just raw. The thing is that he has the wow plays that come with it. And the wow plays are the things that like throw out the bait and they just like bring you in. You're like, holy crap, you know, like, man, if I can get, like you said today, he was highly accurate throughout which is not normal for him. But if you say that's his upside, holy shit, we can work with that. And I think that becomes the bad part about all of this. You try to develop the kid, but he might show you a little too much that you won't be able to stash him on the practice squad.
Yeah, that is kind of the issue, right? Like, especially preseason, you got one quarterback in Tua who you're going to want limited snaps during the preseason. He might get extended run one of these games, but Mike McDaniel sounded pretty non-committal about that today. Teddy Bridgewater, again, he can get some run, but it's not going to do him necessarily a whole lot of good. So Skylar Thompson is really kind of your guy. You don't have a fourth quarterback to share those, to share those reps with. He's going to get a lot of exposure. If he looks good, like you said, it's going to be hard to stash him on the practice squad. You're going to either have to put, like, these 53 spots are already at a premium because of Alec Ingold's presence there. Like, that's taking one of your throwaway spots. Not throwaway, but you know what I mean, one of your versatile spots. I don't think they can afford necessarily to keep three quarterbacks on the roster. And because they drafted him, I don't know that they want to lose Skylar Thompson. So I'm not saying that this is precluding Thompson replacing Teddy Bridgewater as the number 2 quarterback. I don't feel like that's going to happen, even though I do think that Thompson's outplayed Teddy throughout the training camp. I just don't think that you want to trust. They have a lot with Teddy as their backup. They know what they have. It's safe. It's somebody they trust. And you don't know what you have with Skylar Thompson as your backup. You don't really want to go into the season with a rookie as your last line of defense here if your starter goes down.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. The only thing I could see is what I told Poop, is that if he does continue to play well and progress, and then you're forced to keep him on the regular roster because you can't stash him, then by the trading deadline, if Tua's in a groove and the other kid's feeling good and all that, you're going to lose Teddy at the end of the year anyway. You might end up trading him by the deadline for a team that needs a quarterback or something like that. So I could see something like that just to get a pick because you got to now try to make up for what the owner screwed up in a way. So this might be another way to do it because in the end, he's not going to be here next year. So you're going to get.
I wouldn't expect that.
Right, exactly. So that's, again, I'm getting way ahead of myself here. This might have been Skylar's ultimate moment, what he did with you guys today. And from here on out, he goes back to being really erratic and all that stuff. So maybe it ends right there. But if Skylar continues to progress because they kind of view him as a backup quarterback, then I can see that option down the line. All right, so walk us through the offensive line. I'm not worried about Teron Armstead. As long as he's looking healthy and looking, physically in shape, I'm not worried about that dude. Walk me through the other 4. What did you see today?
I thought that Austin Jackson had a good practice. Connor Williams had a good practice. No errant snaps that I saw.
Oh, I heard there was one high one to Tua.
I know there was one yesterday. Like I said, I didn't see that today, but I'm by myself watching 2 different fields. So, there's a chance I could have missed it, but I didn't see it.
Okay.
I thought Eichenberg was fine, and Rob Hunt has been pretty consistent. So like their pass protection has looked a lot better these past 2 days than I think I expected. Save the 2-minute drill, they gave up kind of a drill ending sack to Shaquille Barrett, which I believe Teron Armstead took responsibility for after practice. He said it looked like it was Liam's fault, but it was really his. That's leadership, man. Like I said, there's going to be a C on Armstead's chest come September.
Of course.
But
and that's what. And by the way, that's what leaders do. You don't want the young guy to take and he knows what that young guy is going through. You know, it's good for him to take that, you know, that right away to get that pressure off him, because then it's misunderstood and it's blamed to the wrong person, and it really wasn't Liam's fault. So yeah, that's a good move.
And so yeah, I thought that was strong. It's hard to really judge where they are in as far as run blocking goes. Teron Armstead says that they have a chance to be an explosive run team. They didn't show it this week. I don't think they showed it against Tampa, but Tampa's also a stout run defense. You got Vita Vea there in the middle. You got linebackers who can fly. It's just not really it's a good test, but it's not one that Miami necessarily dominated. I will say that I thought Salvon Ahmed was maybe the strongest runner throughout the week. There were times where, you know, we thought it was Sony Michel. We're like, wow, Sony's looking great. And then we realized it's a 2.6 instead of a 2.8. And it was the chunk gains that they did get on the ground. It was usually Salvon Ahmed getting. I mean, granted, you know, I can't tell you what unit he's playing against. So just in case anybody is wondering there or was asking that, I can't tell you who he was playing against, if it was starters or not. But I can tell you that you can only play against the people that line up across from you. And he was making plays. So, you know, long shot, I think, still to make the 53, but he's cheap. He's looked a lot better than Myles Gaskin, who was not particularly good today. And I think that automatically gives him the edge there. And I think he's also cheaper than Sony Michel as well. He just needs to have, I don't know, Sony's kind of the between the tackles de facto runner right now. Savon's got to show an ability to do that.
All right. I keep thinking that Sherfield and Craycraft are the 5 and 6 wide receivers on this team. You know who the top 4 are already, where there's Ukam and the other 3 guys. Is there any reason to think anything different? Did you see anything from anybody else and any of the other receivers who also, by the way, must help out on special teams if they're going to take that 5th, or even if that 6th spot, if they're going to keep that 6th spot? You tell me, what do we see at wide receiver from all the other guys? Not named.
I cannot remember Lynn Bowden making a memorable play this week. I cannot remember Preston Williams making a memorable play this week. He did have his man beat during one-on-one drills, and it was probably Skylar Thompson's worst pass of the day. He led him a little too far out of bounds. Preston wasn't able to corral it. Kind of threw his hands up in frustration afterwards as well. Kind of just sums up where he's at right now. But no, I think the wide receiver room is set. I will say, and we're jumping positions here, I will say a name just to keep an eye on. To keep an eye on here. Tanner Conner.
Yes. Yeah.
Undrafted rookie tight end out of Idaho State, converted wide receiver, put on some weight over the offseason, switched to tight end. I believe track star as well. I think I heard, I need to do the background, but I did hear that he was the 200-meter champion at Idaho State.
Key question. Special teams. What does he do on special teams?
He can fly. He can run. He can fly.
So you have is he being used as a returner, or is he
no as a gunner? More like gunner. Okay. Gunner. Don't get
you tell me flies. It's either or. But, you know what I'm saying? So I got to ask.
He's a guy. He had a big catch and run today from Skylar Thompson. It's not the first time. It's not even the second time. I don't even know if it's the third time that I've seen him do so at practice. He is somebody who, you know, we saw Adam Shaheen was traded earlier this week, and it's not like Shaheen was going to particularly have a big role, but this is a guy that was vastly outplaying Adam Shaheen, and it made him even more expendable. It's a guy who I can see.
and a lot cheaper,
A
right?
lot cheaper.
Yeah. You clear a little
Look,
cap space.
if they keep 3 tight ends, which would make sense,
Mm-hmm.
Gesicki, Smythe, and I'm going Connor right now.
Not Carter?
Nope.
He's a special teamer. He helps out.
I'm just
Okay.
dark
But
horse.
you
I
don't
would
think
think
they
10 or Connor.
So you don't think they could keep 4? They're going to keep 3. Okay. All right.
We'll
'Cause
see.
they kept
Like
5
I'm in the yeah, and that was stupid. So that was dumb.
That was very Bears-like. You are correct. Stupid. Yes.
So to put it bluntly, that was dumb, and it's a different staff that is smarter. So I wouldn't expect 5.
Well, you saw the
4
receivers.
is a stretch.
They kept 87 receivers, and 85 of them were injured. I mean, like, what the hell was going on last year? Like, what? Like, it's completely different. The roster construction, you can tell, is not nearly as flow influenced as it was last year, because there was some weird stuff, man. They were depending on too many undependable people. It was really odd. I didn't understand that. Like, how do you put your eggs in that basket or in that basket or in that basket? What is wrong with you? Don't you see what's going on? It was really, really weird. The receiver thing last year was so baffling. Like, you had so many guys, and you had guys on the back end that did nothing for you at special teams. And you're like, why are you keeping Albert Wilson around? He does nothing on special teams. You just can't keep some
emergency quarterback, emergency quarterback Albert Wilson. But no, I thought that from afar, I thought last year's wide receiver group was much improved. But I was banking it on Will Fuller staying healthy,
right, which
and really
he never
that was
does.
it.
Which he never does, by the way.
If he was healthy or motivated or whatever the story was, if he could play last year, we'll say that if he could play last year, that would have added a completely new dynamic to Miami's offense. Because it's somebody, look, love him or hate him, I don't think he's reliable either. But if they could have got 8 games out of Will Fuller last year, I think they at least win 1, and they only missed the damn playoffs by 1 game.
Yeah, I understand in theory what you're talking about, but I'll use the Super Bowl, Kansas City, and Tyreek Hill and Kelsey as an example. And 2 years ago, Mahomes couldn't find the fastest player in the league because his ass was on the field, not standing up because his line couldn't block. So in the end, no matter what Will Fuller would have been if he could have stayed healthy, that line was not good enough to play the deep game. That's why with Waddle, they had to play the slot game because they didn't have time for him to get downfield because Tua would have been killed by then. So they had the quick passing game, and I don't know if that's Will Fuller's game, the quick passing.
I think he's fast.
Yes.
I think he's fast. He's fast, and he adds a new dimension on defense to take the attention away from Jalen Waddle, because toward the end of the year, Devontae Parker wasn't getting open. You don't need to shadow coverage over him.
No, you're right.
What other receiver was worth his weight, man?
No, nobody needed bracketing or anything like that. You are correct.
So it's a different element that, I mean, we heard Tua say it wasn't last year, it was in Muscle and Fitness magazine this summer, that a lot of their play designs last year was basically, okay, if this guy's not open, then fuck it, we're shit out of luck.
Right.
So he's somebody who could get open. The Dolphins receivers last year were one of the worst in terms of average yards of separation at the time of the pass. I think we're kind of seeing that. Like it's something, if you're a Dolphins fan, you have seen over the past 3 years, because since Tua entered the league, his receivers actually have the lowest average yards of separation per route run. So he's just somebody who could separate, and that's not something that they had a lot of last year. But moot point, he didn't play. When he did play, he was moderately ineffective. 2-point conversion, I believe, in Vegas to send a game that they should have had well in hand into overtime. And yeah, golly, man, that was one of those games where I feel like, I hate being if this guy was here, they would have. I hate having to do that, even though I just did it with Will Fuller. But that was a game where I feel like, if Tua plays, I think they probably win that game. I don't think Jacoby Brissett helped.
All right, one more thing before I let you go. Hunter Long, where does he stand in your in your tight end room? What's he doing?
Nothing. Look, on the field and in the classroom, I think that he's got a lot more.
Nothing.
He's making a lot more of an impact than he is on the field when we're there. But he's not. He's somebody who struggled with drops this summer. He is somebody who struggles to get open. I got to watch him a little bit more as a blocker, but the tight ends as a whole, this is not going to be the same impact on the game that you have seen out of Miami tight ends in years past. They are not being used on the field as receivers, which is, I think, why they didn't want to sign Mike Gesicki long term. They gave him the franchise tag because they want to see what kind of tight end can he be from their mind. Like how can he play the position as they see intended?
Omar had Gesicki blocking today. Did you see Gesicki blocking today?
I saw Gesicki catching a touchdown today. He dropped another one, but he caught a touchdown today. This was the most active I think I've seen Gesicki all summer. But we heard Mike say a few days back that everybody in that room has been conditioned to play tight end a certain way, and I'm paraphrasing here. That way is wrong. That way is wrong. He said that they're taught to be kind of defensive and reactive, and they want their tight ends to attack. And so they are learning to attack. And that's why I brought up Tanner Conner. I think he's somebody who's attacking his opportunity. I did see him flub a block today in which he ran into the right tackle and was slow to set the edge. Defender got around and sacked Thompson. But I think there's hope there. At the very least, this is a guy who's got to be added to the practice squad. I don't think that he's leaving Miami.
Wow, so we failed on the Boston College coach, and now his damn tight end too. Damn, bro, just wrong. This flow disease just like lingers on the damn Dolphins. Wow, so Hunter Long, a long shot now on the Miami. Maybe they'll trade him too.
We'll see. Third round pick, so he's going to have, because of that team control and because of the assets that this front office put into him, I think he's probably got a longer leash. But he hasn't popped. He has not popped to me this summer, and I don't want to say it's disappointing because I don't have emotion into it like that. But you would kind of expect a little bit more out of a second-year tight end.
Yeah.
But it's just it is. I will give him that. I'll give him this, that it is hard for any tight end to make an impact in this offense right now.
Yeah, no, and especially he's known a little bit more as a blocker. So you figure for this offense, he might even fit even better. But again, he's young. Who knows, man? Maybe it's just a learning curve for him. Might be a little longer for him than others. That's the one thing you can never predict with some players, when that light will go on. Some guys are Javon Holland, and some guys might take them a little longer. And it's just one of those things that you really can't measure. All right, what are you doing over at ESPN so folks can check you out, Marcel Louis-Jacques?
Well, shoot, man, I might be hopping over to Tyreek Hill's store opening on the 15th, see what these hoochie shorts are all about. But
is it the Hal Habib hoochie shorts? I mean, is he going to give Hal credit? Is he going to call him the Hal Hal's hoochie shorts? That's what it should be called, right?
I can't confirm or deny that, but no, I'm just working on. I've still got feature stories that I'm gathering info into. I just had an interview 2 days ago that I thought it was enlightening. I can't wait to share the content of it with everybody else. But beyond that, man, we've got a game to cover on Saturday. Finally, Dolphins football is back. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to hyper analyzing real football now instead of hypothetical this or that, who's better, who belongs. We got something concrete. Want to see what McDaniel's game planning is like, what calling plays from the sideline is going to be like for him, what their process is. So there's a lot to watch for come Saturday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Catch him twice a week here with our myedgedrink.com Miami Dolphins report. Of course, catch him there also on ESPN doing his thing. Marcel, thank you, my friend. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate it, man. See y'all next time.
You got it. There you go. You now have the edge.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
There we go. We thank Marcel. Did you see that whole Frank Gore story? So apparently now he pulled a Lawrence Phillips. You know, Lawrence Phillips got in trouble in Nebraska because he dragged a woman by her weave down a certain flights of steps. I don't know how many flights, but apparently he dragged a woman by hair in a hallway in the hotel. There's got to be video of that, right? Don't they have video on all these hotels, I would imagine? Because I got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, I would think as long as, again, depending what type of hotel, but most of them usually do have some kind of video.
Yeah, I saw that today. I saw that story with Gore, and, it's hard to, you never know. It's hard to believe because Frank's a good dude. Hey, but we all have our moments. I don't know about those kind of moments. And there's got to be video of it. They didn't say there's any video of it, but there are charges. So you wonder if they saw a video of it. I'm sure it'll come out if it is true. I hope it's not, man. I hope it's not, because that's not the way none of us have ever viewed Frank Gore, and you just don't want him to be associated with those kind of moments, man. Not a good thing. Wow, what a wasted draft pick will Long be if he doesn't make the team. Oh, he'll make the team. I disagree with Marcel on that. Unless they can trade him, but I think he'll make the team. They'll give him another year at least, because you got to give this coaching staff some time to work with the kid. So if they like him, unless this is a complete flow pick that they just, we didn't take Tua and he wanted Jordan Love, let's give him this one. I don't know if they did something like that, or, I'm not sure. But don't forget, folks, to smash the like button. Yes, please. Right there. Greater good is right. Please smash the like button. Please go to our other channel, Big O Show Cuts, or Big O Radio Show Cuts. But if you put Big O Show Cuts, it'll come out. And please subscribe and follow that channel. We need to get to 1,000 on that one. We thank Alan Poupar and Marcel Louis-Jacques for joining us as always. We thank, of course, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley mastering this show. The C-Man is also down the line there. He is joining us as always. That is the clan that brings it to you every single day here on the program. We'll be back tomorrow. Are we on the road tomorrow? Yeah, we're on Acura, right? We're at Acura. We're at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines tomorrow at 15601 Pines Boulevard. So come on out and join us, man. It should be a lot of fun. We'll see you down there at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. And, of course, we thank all of you for tuning in, downloading the show, liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, all of them. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for sharing the show with others. Thank you for sending in a Super Chat, a Cash App, Venmo, Cash Big O Show. If you want to send in a donation to Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And again, if your company wants to join our platform, you can call our business line at 786-754-4664. Send us a text at 786-754-4664 or email, because you might be out of the country, bigoradioshow@yahoo.com, bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. I am looking forward to the first sponsor that flies us out of the country for a show. That's going to be a trip, I got to tell you. I don't know what sponsor is going to do that, but it'll happen one day. You never know. Maybe the folks at Nature Bee fly us out to New Zealand to go out to the factory or something. Why not? I would love to do that, by the way. That'd be really cool to do the show from the Nature Bee factories. Anyway, we shall see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.